it's just been a crazy, beautiful experience. Uh, I didn't put a lot of information out there uh, about like who I've talked to from what organizations because I don't know. I always felt like I didn't want to be like disrespectful to them, and but I just want to like put this out there openly, publicly that like the WWE, especially like Gabe Sapolsky, a couple of superstars had reached out to me, like Miro and Rikishi. I've talked to him but like Gabe from WWE, he's the head of talent. He reached out to me, not to like sign me or do any favors for me, just as a human being. Making sure that like, I was okay, just to talk to me and stuff like that. And, if I needed any guidance, he'd, give me some guidance. And like that to me was everything because I felt so lost afterwards. And when Gabe reaching out to me was, like, it was big because, you're just out there floating around and you're just in the ether, at that point. Like what was comfortable to me had just been taken away. Yeah. And, Miro Rusev reached out to me too because, he's also from Knox.
I forgot. I didn't think about that, but he was what he like just reaching out to see like if you were. I remember you had the cut above your eye from
Yeah.
hitting heads together and stuff. So you did have some blood going on. So maybe like they'd seen pictures and people thought you were real bad off.
Oh, well, like mentally, you know what I mean? Like, and then like
Oh,
I
okay.
was talking and trying to raise money for Stu, and Miro, he didn't have an opinion outside of. He just wanted to make sure that I was honest. If I'm going to speak, be honest,
Mm-hmm.
be professional, and you know, like again, just making sure I was okay, and like that was really big. There was a couple people that reached out that I'm probably forgetting, and I texted Rikishi, so like I text back and forth with him, but like I said, it wasn't like outside of those people, like there wasn't a lot of love there, and then I was trying not to talk to Stu because I'm directly involved with the negative thing, and he's trying to recover mentally.
Yeah,
I'm
from
gonna
what I know,
just
you were kind of new, like into kind of the group. Like you knew Stu, but like when you go into I was in wrestling for like a long time, so I kind of know how these politics work. So as soon as all the shit that AJ was saying, I knew it was bullshit. So
master bullshit. That
that
guy's just a fucking liar.
oh yeah, dude, when I that was it. Like I haven't been like a fan of anybody in forever or cared about any like. There was something about seeing you run in there and do like nobody was doing anything. It was such a weird freeze frame. Like the kid ran in there. I'm forgetting his name, but the not
Dude,
17-year-old.
Elias.
Yeah, but he can't do anything. He tried, but like he went over the arms and stuff. Like he didn't know what to do, but he tried, and good on him.
He's not a violent guy. Like I knew like when it was time to go, like I didn't want to land on Stu, so that's why I kind of like I don't know if you know what a bulldog is or
Yeah, no, yeah,
it's like grab him
you
and roll
snatched
him.
him up.
Yeah, grab and I used my body weight to roll him, and when I don't know I was trying to maintain contact, but that didn't happen. So then right back to my feet, and I was like, "Fuck it, we're gonna fight."
Oh
So then
yeah,
he shot the double leg.
you didn't let him get away. You kept your hand on his head, and he couldn't get away from you.
But that
I've
was a
watched it
plum
a lot.
clinch.
I was
I,
fascinated by it.
that that was a plum clinch. So like for me, I had an underhook on one side, and I had a plum because he was trying to shoot for a takedown. He wanted to
Mm-hmm.
get me on my back.
He did.
So
He couldn't move you at all.
yeah,
Like you held
I
him.
wasn't.
You were holding him by the head as you were like you fell down with him, holding his head. You took him down, like just slammed his head down with all this, and then as he gets up, you never let him get all the way away from you, and then you get up and you powered him all the way over.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the back video too. I threw some punches, headbutts, if I could get him. Uh, I don't know. I was getting ready to get real ugly. But I'm glad nothing really like happened more than it did because at the end of the day, like it was in front of kids.
Right.
But
It,
like I even had some regrets for like when I ran outside to go get him again. just because of the kids and watching them. That was the heartbreaking thing. Is like I replay that shit in my head all the time. Is the
You
kids
start,
crying and the
yeah, you start to kind of feel bad because of like everybody who saw it. But like at the point that it was starting to get like, when it was starting to get bad, it was already over. He should have quit. Like he's already grabbed. You already have him. Everybody's coming in to break it up. Like it's over. But he was like I've listened to it. He was so mad about all that. I don't know. I was just happy to see you jump in there. Like I don't see that enough. I've seen a lot of guys just get beat up in the ring and then just walk back to the back, and it's just whatever. But it it was good. It was a good feeling to see you do that.
I've always been the guy to step in and protect people. Like I've always been that.
Well, all right.
I've
There's
always
the other
literally
thing.
always yeah. I've always toed the line for others. Um, but besides the fighting stuff, one of the things that bothered me a lot too about the whole incident afterwards is, all those kids were at the event, and like I've hit up as many of the kids that I knew that were at the event, and I've paid for them to go to wrestling shows where I'm wrestling and giving them free merch and making sure they're taken care of. Like, like I feel like those like there wasn't a big enough outpour to make sure that this sport of wrestling isn't something ugly for them.
It gets a lot of negative news. Most of the time when you hear about wrestling in the news, it's something negative. That's the only time anybody ever really covers it. But
Yeah, but what I'm
that's a
saying
good
is
thing
the
to
kids
do.
that were there at the event, like I feel like a lot of the adults dropped the ball that were involved, and not enough people reached out to make sure that they were taken care of and that like we can make the sport beautiful for them again.
No, that's a really good point. When stuff like
Yeah,
that ends up happening, when like a shoot of almost any kind ends up happening in front of the kids, I think it would be an important thing that the guys kind of remember. Oh yeah, or we should probably make that up, or people probably shouldn't risk taking that. They're not going to risk taking their kids if they're going to see crazy stuff. They're going to
yeah,
feel bad. They'll have negative connotations associated with wrestling. It's not fun anymore.
you're gonna steal the magic from it. They're always gonna have a sense of anxiety. So like it's our job as the entertainer and as the adults to make sure that we fucking uh, show them that everything's okay. Everything can, healing can happen. Like bad things happen, but you got to move through it. Like teachable moments.
Right, like this isn't what was supposed to happen. This isn't how it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
And like, if anything, I want to shout out to the WWE because they've been so good to me. And like that, like they're just a really professional organization, like through and through. And like they just like by allowing me there to let me, do the extra role stuff. Like I'm so grateful for any and everything because like just me being there, I get to learn so much. And like I try to like focus in. Like when I see Triple H talking over something, like I try to like absorb shit. Yeah. So like I don't want to say what I'm watching or listening to, but like there's I'm just back there to learn. I'm learning as much as I can.
Oh, absolutely. That's awesome. That like is it's so good to see you back there. One of the things that I saw that I thought, all right, so people are gonna have thoughts on this one way or the other, and it did seem like it made your friend mad when it like the way that it went, but like to you, it seemed like you were whatever about it. When you guys went to the expo and you bumped into Rampage after all this had happened, and you said you just wanted to shake his hand and squash any negativity,
Yeah.
kind of be done with any of that to where neither of you two felt any which way about each other.
But the whole point was that I was there to work. So I was hired to work with my buddy for the Scaling Up podcast. So
Mm-hmm.
I was there the day before, and like Rampage is there doing his shit. So it's just one of those things to be amicable because if there's any hate and hostility and we're both roving around an expo and we bump
Right.
into each other, you know what I mean? Like that, like subtle shock could be, another fucking terrible event. You know what I mean? So like,
Instead of it going
why
one way from you two just bumping into each other or walking too close into each other,
right?
you just tried to
One of
go over
those
and
things.
squash it.
Walk over, yeah, shake his hand, say, hey, sorry for all the bullshit, fucking yada yada yada. Move on with my day. Not to fucking be his friend. I don't give a fuck. You know, like I could care less about that. It's more or less like we're here doing business. You know, just trying to be a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how are you? Sorry for all the shit. You know what I mean? Like, move
Uh,
on.
and I don't know who the guy was with him, but his manager, handler, whoever it was there, you told him that, you conveyed that over to him that was all you intended. I think you made a short or a
That
reel.
was the same guy who was filming Raja.
Oh, really? So he was at the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so he already
Yeah,
knew
yes.
you.
He stopped me right away. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So he was already familiar with. Had you interacted with him before, like at the
No, no.
when
I
all
just
that
like
went down?
I saw
Okay.
him and he walked over to me and you know, like I said, I wasn't. I'm not a hostile person.
It,
Looking,
it,
that's not my mo.
yeah, I
Unless
imagine
it's a pedophile, I have a hard time not swinging on those guys. But them going to jail is more of a bonus than
it
my.
helps. It
Yeah.
helps that you guys know what's gonna play with that. That's worth asking about too. The How did you get with the guy who does the Scaling Up podcast and the Scaling Up Cat? Because he's been around for. He did some really funny prank videos. Like he would enter into weight classes and do the like he would be in like the heavyweight weight class and there's nobody in there, so they got to give him the trophy. So he'd walk out there smoking and like it was hilarious. I remember seeing a
Oh,
few
yeah.
of those, and then I saw that he was doing catches a few years later. Just randomly popped up, and like 2 months before any of this pops off, I saw you on one of them, like a month or two before one, and I was like, "Who is that guy?" And I was like, he looks like a fucking wrestler, like with the hair and how big he is. And then it turns out you were a wrestler. That was crazy to me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how did you come around to do all of the catches and everything?
So Eric's also a former Knox Pro student.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay.
he almost died, but that's his story to tell.
I remember I saw him talk about that on his podcast. That was a wild story.
So like him and Tanner, they did the pet catches and they met my buddy Ian first, who's a wrestler, who's also a pro boxer. So, you know, Ian linked up with them because Tanner was one of the trained in boxing. So Ian sparred him, and Ian is like the most athletic fat ass you'll ever meet. Like he's like they eat his whole fucking bag of gluten-free cookies and just whoop your ass with hand speed and athleticism. And he's annoying, and I hate him, and he's good at everything. So Tanner boxed him and found out the same thing I have found out, that Ian is really athletic and annoyingly good at stuff. Because he's a really good boxer.
Mm.
Uh, that's how they met him, because Tanner was trying to get a boxing match with Big Boy from Shank Cartel. And I don't think Big Boy wanted any of that. There was a bunch of call outs going around. So then we all linked up, met up. Eric is just a hilarious person. And then after all this stuff happened, you know, Eric's been, there for me, and Tanner's been there for me from day one with Ian too. Like, because like I got so stressed out, I lost like 25 pounds in 2 weeks. I got so depressed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. He was trying to eat, but like my hormones, everything just like even like right now with work, I'm having a hard time with my mental health, like dialing in, giving a fuck. It's hard. Like I was late to work today, and my boss is like, this is happening too often, and I literally responded, I don't fucking care. Yeah, it's just one of those things. So they were just helping me like, hey, take this step. This will be good for you. Do this. Making sure they're editing my videos, watching stuff, making sure I don't know, because it's been an emotional roller coaster. And they want to see me win because they know I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
Especially like Tanner. Like when he walked back over to Rampage, like there's a part where Tanner's like, fuck that. Like, I'm not going to let my friend who's a really nice person, you know what I mean? Just like be treated like dirt because Tanner's got a big heart, and he's had my back through this whole thing. He's got brass balls, and like he's got a bad rep for both of them do for their pranks and stuff, but they're really the kindest people who've been there, and not even with like content, just like bullshitting, like
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to judge someone off of pranks. Like especially when they weren't very mean spirited. Like all right, so someone could say maybe like, well, they asked people their height and weight. Well, fine, that's not that mean spirited. It's kind of funny when they run away from it. It was hold on, I can't remember. What's the power lifter guy who always runs away from him? And now they're even friendly with him. I think I saw a clip where they're like buddy with him. They're kind of having a cool, fun interaction about his height, weight.
Michael Hearn.
That one.
Yeah, that was terrible for me, man. They made me fucking talk to my idol and try to get his height and weight. And I was like, fuck that. Like, I love Michael Hearn. Like, to me, Michael Hearn's, he's pretty iconic in terms of like when you look at bodybuilding as a career, longevity, staying healthy. Like somebody just does whatever like they felt like in the fitness industry. He's made it work for him.
He's huge.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Like, yeah, he's like, to me, like I see them like in the same category. Arnold obviously is, Arnold, and I think he is the greatest ever in terms of like entertaining, bodybuilding. Like, he's hit everything.
The bodybuilder who had the whole package and could just move on and do whatever he wanted to.
Yeah, and like Michael Hearns had the more had the physique that I would go after in terms of like bodybuilding legacy, because a lot of the other guys, like what's going on now is it's not what I see bodybuilding as. He's more of like what I see bodybuilding as.
Yeah. Well, is that where you kind of started with everything? Was the bodybuilding and the powerlifting? Was that kind of the beginning?
Yeah, he was in Gladiators, and he's everywhere.
Yeah, he was in like American Gladiators stuff. But I mean, like with you, when you first started really getting into stuff and competing and stuff, where you started with doing like bodybuilding and powerlifting, didn't you?
I started with bodybuilding. I got into powerlifting from my best friend Abraham.
Okay.
And like he convinced me to do it. I was really shy and like didn't have the confidence that I portrayed to the world. I was kind of a shell of a person, and Abe brought the best out of me at all times. And like that guy made me like every bit of confident and happy that like I don't know. I owe everything to that man. He was like my doppelganger too. We had the same fanny pack, same haircut, same everything.
Okay, so all right. So was he the origin of the haircut, or was it a different haircut then?
No, at that time it was like the tan knot. I used to have really long hair or a mohawk, and I'd tie it up and just so it'd stay out of my face.
Okay.
But I never really did a top knot. I left it out like a palm tree, which is out.
Okay. All right. That's a look.
Because I wasn't trying to be fashionable. I didn't give a shit. I'm a guy who was barefoot all day in the gym with no shirt, with short shorts, and a fanny pack.
So yeah, you seem like somebody who is you've always just kind of been doing like your own thing. So the idea that you were lacking the confidence for people to see you now, well, you've got the crazy hair and stuff is like that guy was lacking confidence. Is like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. No, I was struggling. And a lot of it's like, life choices, not realizing what life is about. Like, just kind of like, I was still figuring out what life is. Like, I don't know. I was just lost. I mean, I'm still lost. But, like, at least now, I kind of have, I know exactly what I want to do, I'll tell you that much. I'm so bought into wrestling. Like, I drive trucks to help fund my wrestling career.
That's how the wrestler kind of works when you're in wrestling. They have the one job to fund the wrestling run. And how did you get into wrestling? Were you always a wrestling fan?
Well, no. Hey, uh, it's the craziest story ever. So we have a buddy named John Cuevas, and John powerlifted with us, and I had some hard times, like just with kind of falling out of touch with a girlfriend and losing my mind a little bit, like the equivalent of like fucking shutting my dick inside a dresser drawer over and over and over again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, you know, like, it was just fucking like Jesus, man.
One
Like,
of
we gotta
those
get it together.
phases.
Yeah, but anyways, bad decision after bad decision after bad decision, mixed with other bad decisions. Had a falling out with Abe. Then John was around more than I was, and then I came back around, and then started hanging out with John and Abe. And then John was a professional wrestler, and he wrestled with the Young Bucks before they got into like the whole AEW stuff.
Oh, okay.
He was like the heavyweight champ. So Abe and I always joked around about having our own tag team called the Smash Bros. Like if you look at my Instagram, there's a video of me squatting 515, and I'm at the bottom of the squat. I drink a beer bong, and Abe's feeding me beer from the beer bong.
Okay, I was gonna
And, like,
ask, is that your tag team partner, or was I don't know if you're
That's Abe.
still tag team partner? Is that him?
That's Abe. See, Abe's dead. He's ashes now.
Oh no. Okay, that's not the same one. Okay, my mistake.
Yeah. He's yeah. That's my whole face tattoo is a memorial to him.
Oh wow. Okay, the Raven.
Yeah, it's because we always joked about never ending squats. Like that, instead of never ending war, you go to Valhalla, never ending squats.
Okay.
Ravens usher in the dead. I don't know. That the moon is a blood moon, summoning spirits to bring back the dead. I think it's gravestone.
No, that's a good tribute. I didn't. I thought it was the guy you were teaming with now. My mistake on that.
And I mean, it's like if you watch my matches, at some point I'm always pointing up, talking to Abe. After every time I do stuff with the WWE or a lot of the matches, they get overwhelmed. Like even now, just talking about that makes me cry because I just miss my buddy all the time.
Oh, I
It's
believe it.
It's crazy. No, yeah, it's like every time I do something, or my dream is to like, and I want to get to the biggest stage. I want to be closer to him through like everything that I'm doing because, like, so what happened? Like, we finally reconnected, and I got stronger than I've ever been. I was ready to put up over 2K. I was deadlifting 800 pounds, squatting 700, easy as shit again. Like my bench press was well over in the mid fours. He had moved to Arizona because he had a daughter. He was passing through, and we had made all these plans to hang out, and I was going to drive out to go see him and give him a hug. We rubbed our fanny packs together, and he was dead by the next morning.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So after that, I really struggled. Ended up homeless for a while. Just didn't want to like do anything life-wise. Just kind of like cruising around, trying to figure shit. And from there, I got into truck driving. Yeah, when I got into truck driving, I was getting my life together, figuring stuff out. And I met my girlfriend, Jamira, who's the godsend. She's everything to me. So, like, one day I'm on the phone with Jamira, and I'm driving to go home to see her. And this U-Haul truck hits the back of another semi-truck. The truck's dragging it up the hill. I look over, and the guy looks like he's dead on the airbag in the truck. I said, "Oh shit!" I told my girlfriend, I said, "Hey, I gotta go. I think I gotta go save this guy." So I pulled up ahead. I lay on the horn until they got to pull over because I was empty, so I could speed up the hill to get his attention because he didn't even notice he was dragging the truck behind him.
Oh
He was
man.
driving. Yeah. We went semi trucks. Like you hit the back of a fully loaded tractor trailer, we wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
Uh, so I go running down to the truck and I pass the guy who we hit, and he's fine. And I look and see a rosary in the window. I'm like, shit, this guy's worthless. So I fucking run over to the guy and I said, hey, are you all right, buddy? Are you all right? We cut a seatbelt off. And he kind of like pops to it. He's like, I need to talk to my mom. I need to talk to my mom. And I'm like, well, that's not good. He's freaking out. Like, every's blood everywhere. I give him my phone. I said, call whoever you want. Trying to get the door open. The flames are starting to go up. He's saying, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I said, hey, buddy, I'm right here with you. So, like, you know, you go, I go. Like I don't know what to tell you. I'm not stopping until I get this fucking door open. So, next thing you know, those things really about to go up in flames, and I'm sitting right there, and I'm like, well, this is gonna be it. And then before I know it, the guy who was crying that I fucking, you know, thought was worthless, saves everyone and puts the fire out with the fire extinguisher, hero of the fucking day. So I always mention that, like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, like, you never know, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you're
this guy's,
you go from thinking that you're worthless to, you know, making sure that someone else continues being able to live. That's an insane shift in your day.
like my mindset, like, because like I'm trying to like dissect the situation because I'm running down, I'm like looking around to see like who's gonna help, who's gonna do what, who needs to stay out of my way. Because like I said, I was on a warpath to go save that dude. I'm a veteran, so like it's just like it's my nature. So sprays the shit out. I look, I see a service truck with this yellow lights flashing, parked down, and there's fuel spilled out everywhere. So he had to park down, so he wasn't sitting in the fuel because the catch firing, and he's going to truck. So I sprint down to the truck, screaming, "I need a crowbar!" You know, and I look like a crazy person. At this point, I got this guy's blood all over me. And I fucking get a crowbar, and I come sprinting back to the truck. You know, fucking shirtless at this point with a crowbar in my hand. And I see this, the blue lights from the they're finally showing up. I get to the truck door, we rip it open, and then by the time we get it open, the paramedics and everybody are like, "Move!" And I'm like, "Oh shit, cool!" Like they took over, you know. Fire department, everybody, you know, busted their shit, and yeah. So after that, I went home, and I had just been canceled off Instagram, my last account, you know, because everyone's so damn sensitive. I put a happy Thanksgiving post up because my girlfriend's grandma put feathers in my hair, and someone screenshotted it, over-reported it, said I was racist. I was like, oh my god.
Oh, that's so brutal. I don't know.
Yeah, like my girlfriend's like Dominican and Ecuadorian. This is prefacing what happened when I went home from the accident. So I'd been canceled off the internet. I was feeling so like out of place. Even like right now, I still kind of feel out of place somewhere. So I'm trying to figure, you know, my head out, and I'm just like can't get this feeling out of my gut that like God's gonna take me home, like like that's gonna be it, you know, like I done so much, like I've been such a fucking train wreck, not been the best person, and like I felt like I finally done something so helpful, like you know, he's gonna end it on a high note, or he's gonna re-platform me to do better. And I told her this, and she said, "You're speaking crazy talk. You know, like let's just go to your favorite gym. We'll go to Metroflex. It's still open." And Eddie Abakov, you know, I've always liked going to his gym. He's a great dude. So I go to Metroflex after saying that, and I'm like missing my friend. I'm just having a moment. And then of all fucking people, I don't want to sell him, but he said, "Rikishi's my uncle," which is a bold-faced lie. Would you like to be a wrestler? And at that point, I was like, replatforming sounds a lot better than dying, and I would love to be a wrestler. Like that sounds fantastic because Abe always wanted to be a wrestler. So
Okay.
when I first got into wrestling too, like I didn't like it. You know, like I was still like I said, I was just so depressed and like I was so out of shape. I was still buff, but like I had no conditioning. Like I hate everything. It took me so much just to like start getting into it, and then I fell in love with it. You know, because as I was performing, I felt closer and closer to my friend. And then like as the stages get bigger and I'm doing stuff like then like I'm understanding like the importance of the audience and like the entertainment. And then like Abe and I like friendship was always about entertaining. We loved entertaining people. We're always giggling and always laughing and just doing dumb shit. You know, it's like just being bros, you know?
Hmm.
And like wrestling gives me so much opportunity to entertain and do bro stuff and like do stuff for something bigger than yourself, you know? Because that's the point of entertainment is to give your energy to others, you know? So now like I'm so in love with wrestling and doing everything I can to be a better wrestler and find time to get into a wrestling ring and just learn.
So it's
Uh,
it it
yeah.
was never something you were like a big fan of. It's something that you were
Well,
ready
now,
for, almost like
yeah.
a spiritual kind of. You were ready to change. You were ready to like reform yourself,
Well,
and
that's what wrestling is to me.
oh, okay.
It's a whole mind, body, and soul, like spiritual involvement. It's everything. Like, and now I'm a fan of it. Now I'm understanding it. Now it means more to me than anything in the world. That's why I say I drive my truck to pay for my wrestling. It's not to be the most famous wrestler ever, or you know, like where people are like I just want to be like this, you know, great entity in wrestling. It's
Hmm.
like no, I just want to be the best version of me, and I know I can achieve that through wrestling, and I want to achieve it through wrestling because the best version of me is a version that is entertaining people, that's being kind to people, that's giving back to my community. Like family, God, and community is very important to me, and I could do that through wrestling more so than any other channel because it's entertainment. It's for the families. It's for your brothers that you're doing the work with. It's you know that fraternity. Like you're
E-
able to if I get so good at doing a match or so good at putting on matches and draw and bring money, I can now help everybody, not just myself. You know, like it's something I want to undertake and just be like I need to be the best at for like so much more than just myself. Like that's my attempt, right? That's what I'm attempting.
that's
Even
that's a great
yeah,
reason. Just so you know, this is like I've been around wrestling and in wrestling for decades. I've heard many reasons to be in wrestling. None of them have ever sounded like that, and not in a bad way. I don't mean that
yeah,
in a bad
no,
way. That's
I
an
appreciate.
amazing reason to be involved in wrestling, and I love it so much. I respect it so much. Like that's it's a thing to get closer to somebody who you lost. It's a thing to get closer to the people around you. You were never really much of a wrestling fan, from what you're saying, but the things that you love to do are the things that you do when you wrestle. So you
Yeah,
don't have to have been a fan to enjoy doing the work of performing for people in the ring like that and everything. This makes so much more sense as to why you don't behave like most pro wrestlers do. Whereas
yeah,
most of them are they're in line. You know, they're very, you know, there's a certain way wrestling fans act. People who are always fans of the business and things like that. Which this does explain so much about like why you jumped in the way that you did on the Raja thing. Like there was enough time for you to look around and realize no one was doing anything before you jumped in. Like that's something that normal people do. Pro wrestlers and stuff, they're kind of okay. Who will I get in trouble with if I do this? Am I like do I ask? Do I keep going with the show? Like, there's a million questions that wrestling fans would ask that a normal person, they're like, well, no, this is wrong. Let me fix it. So this makes a lot more sense now that I know this.
I've always been an odd duck. I can't explain it.
Well, I mean, the hair gives that away a little bit. What's the origin of the hair? I'm a huge fan of the hair.
Yeah, the hair stayed because of Rikishi. Like I give I give so many kudos to Rikishi, and like when I say like, but I watched him growing up. Like when I was a wrestling fan when I was younger, right, much younger, never as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but like I loved Rikishi growing up. I like watching him. Funny story is I got called fat by one of my neighbors, and I'm watching SmackDown with my mom, and I'm being like a little bitch because I'm fat. She's like, this man is dancing in a thong on TV, like, and you're over here crying because somebody called you fat. This guy's literally getting paid and like letting it all hang out. Like, be confident. Shut up. Like,
That's okay.
yeah.
That's a pretty good message to say. That's good. I can.
Yeah.
Okay, you did see a little bit of wrestling when you were younger. It was everywhere,
Oh, yeah.
years
It's
and
all,
years ago.
yeah, like, but like, I think that that's natural. It's every progression. Kids grow
Yeah.
up watching it, but like, yeah, like, I was never a fan enough to like want to like dive into it or like watch it as an
Yeah,
adult. Like,
you weren't there every week. You might have caught it time to time when you were younger. Every kid's gonna watch a couple wrestling
yeah,
matches.
like I wasn't chasing it around and stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
I had favorite characters and stuff like that. Like, they were like they're I grew up with my neighbors. We'd all wrestle around and do stuff because like that's what kids do. You know.
You seem like you might have liked Batista. Was Batista one you liked?
No, I fell out of love with wrestling when he was around.
Okay, so by the time he was around, you were gone.
Yeah, I couldn't
Okay.
give two shits. I was a Stone Cold guy, The Rock,
Okay.
Mr. Ass. I love Mr. Ass.
Mr. Ass is pretty great. Have you ever got to
Yeah,
interact with Billy Gunn from all the
yeah.
You have? Okay, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Because he was buff, and then his name was a bad word, and like to me, I was like, God, like I'm such a counterculture guy.
His
But
name's a
yeah,
dirty word. This is good shit.
yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, like that's edgy. Like I love it.
So
Uh,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
no, that's always been like my thing. Um, and wrestling's been everything to me.
No.
That's where we were going with this. Uh,
Oh, I'd asked what was the origin of the hair? Because like
oh yeah,
you
yeah.
had
There we
kept it
go.
kind of long and done the different things with it, but I was curious what like this is a unique hairstyle, and if there's one thing pro wrestling needs nowadays, again, it needs more unique hairstyles, like the Road Warriors, and like we need some cool hair again, and you're doing it.
Yeah. Well, what happened? What had happened was is everywhere I go, because of my facial profile. Even when I saw Alistair Black or Malachi Black on the YouTube video, I said, "Holy shit,
Mm.
that looks like me!"
That
Like,
guy, you two could be brothers.
yeah,
Somebody
no,
put a
like,
picture of you two side by side. I was like, oh hell.
yeah, no, our facial profiles are similar, and then the fucking tattoos don't help.
Yeah,
So
you both
then,
have tattoos on your head. You both kind of have the beard. Yeah,
yeah,
okay, I see it.
and I had the same mohawk for a long time. Like, so I'm like, this fucker. And then he's got a martial arts background, and I was like, can't I be like original? Like, why do you have to be more original than me?
Yeah,
So
okay,
what
okay.
happened was, is one day I told my girlfriend, I said, hey, can you like put extensions or braid my hair out? I want a crazy mohawk so it like hangs down past my back, and like I want to do this look. And I said, I'm thinking about more like Ryu from Street Fighter coloration. So I got like these white shorts, and I kind of like that's where I got the red gloves, and I was gonna
Okay.
go with this other gimmick. And then now it's kind of like got Akuma colors, and then like now I'll switch it up here and there, but that's my thing, and that's where the hair came from. Is like I needed something better. I love like Dragon Ball Z. Like I love Street Fighter. I'm a big comic nerd, like massive comic nerd.
You looked around and realized you couldn't look like everyone else.
Yeah, and then like I got tired of fans coming up to me if I did like extra talent with the WWE and asking, if they could have an autograph, thinking I'm Malachi or Alistair,
Oh,
and I'm like, I'm not him. And then I put this hair in, and I'm like, yeah, finally found it. I'm different. I got this. And everyone goes, Lance Archer. And I'm like, God damn it.
Oh,
Fucking
okay.
every fucking time.
Okay. So Lance Archer. Okay, but he's
I
super
get it.
tall. How? Like, all right,
Oh, yeah.
is it cool to ask how tall are you? Because there was a thing I should probably tell you this. I was talking to somebody and they wanted to know how tall you were. And I tried to kind of gauge it, but I didn't know the exact heights of anybody who I was seeing you around. So
Oh, yeah.
I tried to wing it, and then he went to Chat GPT, and he was like, "Well, here's a picture of him and the Master Ymir together. So let me just ask how tall the Master Ymir is." He goes to Chat GPT, and it says that the Master Ymir is 6'10".
No.
I was like, wait, Malo's 6'10", because you two are about the same height. I'm like, hold on, he's
Yeah,
a gargantuan.
I'm 6'2" after a spinal decompression. Right now I'm like 6'1" and I'm almost completely 6'2" again.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah.
spinal. What happened to your? Anything like crazy happened to your back?
Yeah, just squatting too damn heavy. Like,
Oh, okay, okay.
I did hurt my back recently, but like nothing crazy. But I'll still deadlift. Oh, like I deadlifted 735 pounds like the day after I hurt it, and I squatted like 650 like 4 weeks ago.
Jesus.
5 weeks. Yeah, no, like I still like I'm just strong, you know. Like and like I don't prep to do the weight. I don't like go on training programs and build up to it. I just go and I fucking rip it, and like it just whatever emotions I have in the tank that I need to bleed out. You know, I go and I fucking I air them out. You know, like, if you see some of my lifting videos, if you see me scream before and after I do a big lift, I have a lot of stuff bottling up. So
You
that's my way of getting it out.
you post some of the things and the lifts that you're doing, and then I'll watch you do some wrestling. I've got to ask this as well. What is the finishing move? Is it the hopscotch famouser?
No, no, no. So I normally do the razor's edge, like when I did the Matthias.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking that was the finish,
and
but I've seen you do the hopscotch famouser a lot, and
if you
it
don't
looks
know who the
great.
epic is, yeah, they fucking hate. Everyone hates it when I do that. Like Peter
Really?
Avalon was like, yeah, yeah. I know he didn't like it. He didn't say directly that he didn't like it, but I heard through the grapevine, and he was like too big for that. Like no,
That's
but
I
like
was
I know.
going to ask if you ever were told that you're too big for that one, because I thought it looked good coming from a big guy. Right?
Yeah, well,
It's a
yeah.
lot
Well,
of weight
Rikishi
crashing
fucking
down on him.
hated it. Rikishi hates it when I do that.
Oh,
So like when I did it, I was like, oh, dude, like, because I still want to go train with Rikishi, but there's some unsavories that stayed at the school that I don't want to see, and I don't want to bring violence or hostility or anger around him or his son Tomiko, because I love those people to death, you know.
it,
And if you can't act right, don't come around and bring bullshit to somebody's peace, you know. Like
Rikishi was catching a lot off of that. The time
I
between
hated that.
Rikishi and Nox Pro, it's very tangential. All right, so
He's
like
just a face. Like
yeah,
but yeah.
he's kind of the big name that comes. If you're like anybody who like knows how the indies work, he's the big name face who's around sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, when he was there, he didn't. He would never that would have never fucking happened.
Yeah, they would never do that on a night when the
Never.
face was there. Like
And
it's
yeah, and Tamiko Fatu would have been there. He's an absolute unit of a man, and like I'm just like
people
I
kept
think it's
saying he
healthier.
owned it, and it was that and all the it. He was not in charge that night. He was not
No,
present.
he
His
never would have allowed that to happen. I've seen him put his finger in people's faces and tell them, you know, his. He'll give them a piece of their fucking mind. He'll shut shit down before it ever happens. He runs a good tight ship. Rikishi's a good man. And like I would never I won't allow it. Like to me it's heartbreaking like that. He has his whole fucking career that he he literally fought tooth and nail building his career, right? And like to have a blemish even be like thrown possibly his way, to me is just it's the most I get insulted, you know, like he doesn't deserve.
Well, people will look for a finger to point because they'll disagree with something someone says on social media or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that
Everyone,
happen a lot.
everyone's a fucking expert. Like I get people hitting me up saying all kinds of wild shit, like little backhanded threats here or there, or like you need to let it go and you need to do this, or like oh you're still milking this or milking that, like now I'm just putting stuff out and like a lot of my content's like old like stuff that I'm editing. Like because I'm so busy right now traveling and moving around. Like I don't have time to sit, film, and edit and like do shit. I'm working 60 hours a week in my truck, you know? Like I flew in from the airport yesterday, got out of the airport from Burbank, went straight to Alhambra. We caught three pedophiles, and then I was at work late, but I went to work right after that. So uh, and I'm going to be working till next Monday, and I work 12-hour days. I also own a shoe company on 2C.com.
Own
If
a
you look
shoe
up,
company?
yeah, type
Okay, I
in
didn't even know about that.
ODD, type in ODD, the number two, and then SEE.com. That's my landing page. I just got the full samples of the shoe in. I don't want to post anything of the pictures yet because I do not want a bigger company to see exactly what I'm doing and steal it.
Okay.
Until I'm ready to launch it. But like, if you're interested and want to see more about it, sign up. Encourage people to go onto the emailers and subscribe because these are going to be the best performance boots out there.
Okay, so are these going to be like wrestling, boxing boots kind of thing?
Boxing, wrestling, weightlifting. Yeah, built for performance.
All right, I got to ask you about another thing. You said the catch last night, because last night you just flew back in. You were on Monday Night Raw, and then you fly back home, and then you catch four pedophiles or three?
Three of them.
Three of them, and two of them show up at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Uh,
that was
it's
what I was confused. Whatever you said that or not necessarily confused, but whenever you said that you were catching three on one night, the first thing popped out, how do you guys stop them from bumping into each other? And then you told me two of them show up at the same time.
yeah, no, we got him. Great. We had one guy getting in the back of the car and being arrested, and the other guy still showed up. And then the decoy was like, "Oh, it's crazy out here." And we still went all the way to the house, and I was like,
Oh my god.
"Dang." Like he was old and he had like Parkinson's, so I kind of felt bad until we like read what he was saying. At one point, he told the decoy, which he thought was like 14 or 15, you're so young, and like I could be a father figure to you, but I can't just take advantage of you. I was like, what
That
the
is
fuck, dude?
wild.
Like, because at first I'm like, this is fucked up. Like, he's just old and maybe he's not right in the head. He's disabled. And I asked him, I was like, do you have any mental disability? He's like, I have Parkinson. I was like, does it affect your brain? He's like, no. I'm like, fuck you. Like, fuck you to hell. Because, like, how many other people have you victimized throughout your life? Because what an evil thing to say. I could be a mentor to you, but I could also just take advantage of you.
To just type it out that way and be like,
Yeah.
I could, and to be so nonchalant, like he didn't even, there was nothing covert about it, there was nothing suave about it, there was nothing
And he
to
and
it.
he just admitted it right away. Like he admitted his bad intentions. He
Right.
didn't even deny it. Most of them deny it. This guy just ate it, like owned it.
That's not a good sign. People who are dishonest about it on these, I tend to not believe them anyway. But when they're really honest about it, there's something very creepy about that too, because that's like, oh,
Yeah.
they don't even care anymore.
The third one we got was all fucking coked out. When we made him sit down, we checked his pockets and everything, and I saw a rolled up dollar. And I was like, all right, bro, like, I know what that is. So I banged a dollar on the table and I saw Coke Flakes come out. And I was like, oh, cool. I said, where's your cocaine? He goes, I don't have any drugs. I said, you don't have any drugs? I said, I bet you they're in your cigarettes. That's where all you assholes hide your shit. So I checked the cigarettes
Always in
and
the
like I go to
cigarette
open
pack.
it up. No, it's like an 8-ball, like fucking like the plastic was like sticking to the cigarette box. I took a picture of it, cracked me up. I was like,
It's more
you
cocaine
your
than
drugs.
cigarette box.
Yeah, and then he goes, I don't have any fucking drugs. Like, I don't have drugs. And I'm like, look at your eyes. Like, you are fucking out of your mind, fucking coked out right now, bud. And fucking this guy sent us a dick pic and all kinds of shit. And like, we're like, bro, like you said this, he was like, no, it was my brother. I was trying to help my little brother. And like, I was like, how's your brother? And he's like 14. I was like, why would
Where
you
is he?
send this girl a picture of your 14-year-old brother's dick? I was like, you know, that's child pornography. I was like, that's another charge.
Yeah, that
You know?
feels like more charges. That feels like you made it worse.
I was like, this is, yeah. So I'm like, fuck this guy. Fuck him for everything.
In that situation, there are very few ways I can think of to make it worse, other than when you're like, no, I didn't send my dick. I sent an underage person's dick. Oh,
Yeah, dude.
okay.
And then tried to throw his brother under the bus the whole time.
And
So
it's
we were like, oh,
family.
well, yeah. The first guy we caught had a fucking 14-year-old daughter, and he was trying to meet someone the same age.
Okay, so how many times have you guys how many times have you been around for like that? What hits your head when that comes up? Because I think that's happened 2 or 3 times now since you started,
Yeah.
where you'll catch somebody, and they'll be going for somebody, and you'll find out they have a daughter the exact same age.
Immediately that we're calling the fucking mom. We made this guy call his mother. And the mom was crying and fucking all the shit. The guy made excuses, and I fucking lit him up so bad I lost it on him. I said, "Fuck you," you know. I cut a promo on his ass. Like I couldn't help it. I got so mad. I basically told him, I was like, "You're a fucking failure. Your whole life, all these things that you're doing is because you're a fucking liar. That's how you end up here, because you're a deviant. You're a fucking liar. You lie so much that like you make these bad decisions. That's how I almost was like just fucking losing it on this dude. But like the fact that you got a 14-year-old fucking daughter, and then he goes, then I can't fucking, I'm not gonna be able to see her. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, these are all your fault. Like everything that's happening to you right now is your fault. The way that you're here, all the stuff that you said, like, go fuck yourself. Like I told him, I was like, you need to repent. You need to fucking go be honest. You need to fix your fucking life. Like, fucking, you need to. I even told him, I was like, fucking, the only way out of this for you is to fucking never do this again, and go make sure that nobody else ever fucking does this.
And
Like
you're the newest one in the trio, right? Like you're the new.
Yeah, and Ian does it too.
Okay, I forgot there. Yeah, and he is
Got
intimidating.
Morgan.
I mean,
Oh yeah, he's a pro boxer. He's a nut.
Yeah, he's an intimidating one. What was kind of did Eric give you any kind of talk about it whenever it first started happening? It's gonna be like you're gonna want to hit everybody, okay? You're gonna
No. Eric's more or less like, hey, quit talking over me and shut the fuck up, And I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
and then I lose my temper again. I start snapping, and he's laughing.
Eric's like, I gotta get my shit in.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, let me get my shit in, bro. Not time to shine, bro.
He seems pretty, like, I don't know. He seems ridiculously funny. He seems like a very funny
Eric
dude.
is, yeah, because he's insanely intelligent, and typically that leads to him just being fucking very funny. He's a very funny, like, kind, fun person, So
I 100% believe it. I've seen a lot of different stuff he's done randomly just pop up over the years, and the guy is hilarious. But seeing that he eventually moved into the predator catching space, and he even puts on like a more serious persona now. Like the last interaction that he had, like you were talking about, where he was asking you to go and get the guy's weight, and then they met up outside and just had a cool interaction. Like they're a different kind of thing now, and he's doing good, like a lot of good for the community. And you guys do things like with the cops are always there, and you do stuff. Is there, I don't know, are there any groups that you look at and you think they do good, or are there any that you're like not fans of? Like, is there any that you're like they do a good job over there and there and there? These guys don't do a good job here and here, because I think you guys do a great job. But I've seen varying degrees.
There's a couple people. Yeah, there's a couple people that drop the ball, but like I don't really follow any of that shit,
No,
Like,
yeah, 100%. I believe it.
I'm not a big like. I'm not the best when it comes to like watching TV shows or watching YouTube channels and people doing shit because like I'm fucking busy.
Right.
Like,
Especially if you don't
I
like it. You're not gonna sit and watch it.
well yeah, but like I'm always on the phone with like my little brother doing like stuff for our shoes or like trying to set up this or that or like sometimes I'm in my head like right now I really like Ilya Dragunov's fucking work, you know. So
Well, he
I'm
just
watching
won a belt.
I'm watching how he sets his shit up. I like his work rate. So then like I'm like kind of like scheming and plotting. I want to bring more Bruiser Brody stuff into my fucking moveset.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, because like I'm an aggressive person and like my style, even like when I fucking get into altercations, it's always max pain, low effort. You know,
Hmm.
I want to
Okay.
hurt somebody badly and go home.
See,
So
I can see you doing some Bruiser Brody stuff. I can see it. You know,
yeah, I love the leg
especially
drop.
nowadays, you're definitely big enough for it. It'd be cool.
Yeah, like if I could do that flying fucking knee drop, that would make me happy.
The flying knee
So
drop, landing that is, you'll figure it. I think it'll look good.
yeah.
Bring the
Yeah, and
big
then
knee
like there's
drop
a
back.
couple things I want to do, like coming off the ropes and like sending in like a super knee. Like I have a whole couple like how I want to like set up like comebacks and shines a little different. Want to work on my heat. I don't know, dude. I just fucking
Yeah,
like that's the stuff. That's the stuff
you're
that I'm
just
doing all
getting
day.
into it. You're experimenting with stuff. That's what. And again,
Yeah,
like you're. It's really cool to hear that you're so excited about it because
yeah.
you have the connection that you do with it. So
That's why I'm like I'm never really. People be like, oh, did you see this? And I'm like, nah, dude. I'm like low key neurotic and stuck in my fucking head.
I'm a little
Kind of,
bit the same
kind of.
way. So
Yeah, like
don't feel bad.
I don't want to be average at anything. Like I've always been somebody to get to the pro level of whatever I'm doing. So like now that like I'm investing all this time, money, and effort into wrestling, like my brain is so dialed into it that like I'm trying to like now figure it out, you know?
That's where you're zoned into. Now
Yeah, like I
you're
can't.
looking at every nook and cranny of everything you can find about it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so fucking peeled in, like it's or so dialed in, like everything to me is just it's like all right, this is all I care about. Like I call my girlfriend and ask her like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of that?
Was it like the
Like
thing you just said about Bruiser Brody and then Ilja Dragunov? That's a great example. Like you're looking at everything from Ilja Dragunov to Bruiser Brody.
yeah,
These are
because
very different things to be
Dragonov's
looking at.
well, because Dragonov's thing is inflicting pain. Bruiser Brody was inflicting pain, right?
Hmm.
Uh, I'm a bigger guy than Dragonov, so I would have to do different things. Bruiser Brody is bigger than me, so trying to find a blend somewhere in between those two, you know?
That's not a horrible way to look at it. See,
Yeah,
it's all pretty smart. I like it all. It's very easy to hear the things that you're saying and be like, see, this makes sense. He's going about this very practically, very intelligently. All right, are you going to get rid of the hopscotch famouser? I like it. I don't think it should go. But I'm also not I'm not anybody who's saying you're too big for that. You need to get rid of it and could give you a much better spot. So if they're telling you it needs to go, hey, it might need to go.
I'm gonna save it for rainy days.
Okay, okay.
Like I want to use it sparingly and like fucking if I could use it when I run like a little pop up comeback or something, like um,
It'll be a
you
special
know,
occasion kind of deal as opposed to
yeah, like
yeah.
let's say I'm taking a bunch of heat, get some stuff, and then out of nowhere I go pop, 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 spin off of them, hit the ropes, hit it, roll out to the fucking roll out the fucking ring after, and just fucking play to the crowd like
See that
fucking play injured, play fucking whatever, and then just I don't know,
I
whatever fits the show's needs, like whatever fits the emotion. Like I want to use it to because it's something that elicits a good reaction, right?
I
So
think so, yeah.
Yeah, and I always get uh like where I place it, I always get good crowd interaction. So
Please don't take
I
my
don't.
advice over people who can give you much better spots, but I do like the move, and I think it's really cool when
Yeah,
you do it. It's a unique move for a big guy to be doing, and you do it well. It looks cool. But if
yeah.
everybody who's giving you better spots is saying they don't like it, this yeah, don't do it. But damn, I'ma hate to see it go.
It's not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to use it, like I said, like
Time to time.
where whenever I find the right emotional point to insert the move, because you don't just do a move to do a move. The move has to
That's a
have
good
a
point.
reason. It has to have a reason for the fight, and it has to have a reason for the emotion at the time in the match. Like you can't just do the fucking move because it's cool.
Right.
You have to do the fucking move because it fit what you were trying to sell the crowd. Like
Right.
what story you're telling. So, I never want to just fucking do it just because I could do it. That's what I'm getting at. Like,
Well,
that would be such a waste. It's a cool move and I get a good reaction. So I need to put it the right place and time with the right emotion.
no, I agree. That's the goal. Have you seen have you like done any moves and like just cut them? I remember when I first started wrestling, I would do a ridiculous amount of moves, and by like the end of the first year, I had got rid of about 60%, 70% of them. They
I've always, yeah. No, I'm not a big move guy, dude. I'm kicks and punches. I'm a fucking crowd whore. So like my last couple of matches, I've had the yips since the Raja thing.
mm,
Um, but like I fucking had these fucking guys I did a match with who were the most selfish pricks, and I'll never speak their name and put them over because I've never dealt with people that are so dumb and so selfish. Where like they just want to get all their shit in, and like they don't realize that they're burying themselves and everybody in the match. Like way to just make a shit salad out of that. Um,
no, I've seen that
like
happen.
well, and a lot of it was my fault too because I didn't speak up for myself, and then like but it got rid of my yips. I'll say that much because now I got so mad that I'm like, okay, I'm never allowing this to happen again. And the way I'm going to solve the problem is by taking full accountability. I did all of these things wrong that led to this. So I have a new game plan, and I'm going to make sure that I can fucking go because like at the end of the day, like, yeah, I'm mad at them for the shit salad, but like, if I communicated better, if I had done this or that, like, there's so many things that I needed to do, that I didn't, that caused that. So it's 100% my fault, but you know, it started. It's when you have people that will take advantage of your lack of uh, prowess or I don't know, like
You haven't been
they got me
around.
slipping. I'll put it that way. Like you know what I
You
mean? They
haven't
took
been
advantage
around the
of my
very
fucking my brain not being all the way there.
yeah. You haven't been around the very manipulative end of wrestling quite so long, so people are gonna jump on that. And
And bro,
that was
it's so nuts. This fucking sport is full of these fucking swamp creatures that just show up and they're like me. All I know is me.
I was gonna kind of save the question, but yeah, you're already on it. I was good. How many how many times have you kind of quit? Because I know you did say you loved wrestling, and it is this spiritual kind of, and I love that, and I respect it because I don't have quite the same thing, but I do have a deeper connection to wrestling than the people involved in the business and being necessarily a fan of it. So I get somewhat of what you're saying, but it's still a little different for me. But listening
Yeah.
to you having that connection, and then you get into the business and you look around you, and that is not the connection most guys have to the business. Have you
No, but most of them are ego driven.
very
Or like it's like some guys want to be tough and like prove to the world that somehow they're just this super masculine cool guy because they do the wrestle, and you're sitting there like, bro, if you want to be tough, just go fight. Like
right?
it wrestling is about entertaining, or some people want to just be the man or the guy or the girl, or like they have to be the it factor.
They're the
And
top.
but like nobody is ever really the it factor. They become that because they gave up chasing that. They just are, right? And like the people that are just present and existing in the space and living in the moment put on the best performances, which typically means like they're with it, you know, like because they get it. They're here because when you're not doing stuff for yourself, you know, you're gonna do a hell of a lot more than like you're gonna try harder. You know, the match isn't going your way, but because you're not here for you, you're here for the fans, and you're like shit. Like they're really into these other guys, you know. But and like I'm dominating them. They wanted me to do this on a squash match. You know, let me put them down, put them down, put them down, and say, hey, hit me with a quick shine. Ba 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 ba. I sell around, powder out, do this. I fuck myself over. Let this guy get a little more in, a little more in. Now a big shutdown, and now the crowd's way up because they really want this guy over, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I care about wrestling and the match, and what they originally wanted would have been like a squash match. I'm listening to everything that's going on, and I'm like, okay, now I'm a bigger bad guy because I'm killing their hero, and their hero is now a bigger baby face and more likable because he just fought back so valiantly. Like, but if you go and you have these people that don't care about any of that, they're out there and they're like, no, we're just gonna do it this way, and like I'm gonna make sure that like I bury this guy out there so like I look like I'm the coolest, and it's like no, everyone can see through that, you know?
It tends to be easy to see through, and especially on the different levels of wrestling. The different
Yeah,
people at different levels of wrestling, they'll give it away,
yeah.
and I hate that you've had to deal with it. I was gonna ask about one of them that I noticed you had great timing with it too. When AJ Mana went on to the Conrad show and was talking to JBL, and Conrad didn't talk to him very much. I think Conrad was watching the chat, and you had gone into the chat, and AJ was burying you a lot. Like I know like you don't like to talk, but this is the only reason I brought this one
I'm
up
here
is
for it.
because
Go
you
ahead,
were in
but
the chat,
yeah.
and he totally shifted gears once Conrad told him that you were in the chat, and just the way that he changed everything from that. That have you like from that point that night with Rod? Did you two ever interact ever again?
Uh, he tried to fucking kiss my ass and send me this like fucking novel. I didn't read it. I just kind of like laughed it off and fucking blocked him. Because I was like, why does he even have my number? I don't like him. I've never liked him. He's always been a bully. So because of that fact, I've always been like, I don't know, on his ass about being a better person. And then he pulled that shit. I'm like, you're just the fucking worst, you know? Like you can't. Someone that stupid you can't help. He's literally Dunning Kruger personified. Like, yeah, it just, yeah. So
It was pretty wild to see him say one thing in one interview, go to another interview the next week, say the complete opposite. Like the kayfabe is dead interview versus the I still believe in kayfabe interview. He's something. I
yeah,
what kind like you said like he was bullying people long before any of this happened, and he claims him and Stu were super good friends. All of that, like you've had to tell this story a bunch. So that's why
yeah.
I hate this for you, but after like all this is done, you said like he did send the novel to you. Do you believe he ever like really sent a sincere apology to Stu? Like I don't expect Raja or Rampage or any of it because I'm pretty sure that's going to be a legal kind of situation. But like AJ, according to himself, had this deep connection with Stu. Stu helped him out. He has the tattoo of the ranch and all this. Like, did he ever give like a really genuine apology to Stu that you knew of?
I'm pretty sure he sent an apology, but AJ doesn't do anything if it doesn't help himself.
No, it may not have been sincere, but I was just curious if the effort
And it's
was
not a
even made.
sincere bone in anybody. I don't know if you did or not. I don't care.
I believe it, and you
Yeah.
sound
So
correct. You're probably right.
yeah. So Stu helped AJ when AJ was homeless. We got him into the ranch so he had a place to stay. And then the goal was it was you do stable chores and then your rent is free or cheap, right?
Right.
AJ started fucking shitting the bed over there and saying that they're taking advantage of him and they're this and they're that and like making wild accusations of mistreatment and that he paid his dues and this and that. And then Stu gave him a car so he could finally leave the ranch and shut the fuck up. And he was going to pay Stu back for the car and never did. And then Stu does all this shit to help this guy get his life together. He even shows him how to change his oil and like be a man. And fucking the Raja thing happens, and then he doesn't have Stu's back at all. The first thing he does is take Raja's side and try to like go at Stu like, oh, he's not a worker, this and that. Like I can understand maybe that, but then you take it a step farther and you go into the private room when no one else is around, and you're on the live stream saying, fuck that guy, he's an idiot. Make sure you give him a real one. This and that. Tag his shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. If anybody my little brother, my blood brother, like anybody I love, did something stupid, I would reprimand them for it. I would have them by the ear and be like, "You fuck," right?
Right.
But never would I ever allow anybody to fucking hit my family. Like there wouldn't be you wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell at laying a fucking finger. You couldn't fucking fart next to him. I'd fuck you up. Like you have ill intentions towards somebody I love and I care about. We could take care of that. We're adults. We could settle up, right? But now I'm never gonna put them in a position to get hurt. Like I'm sorry that the bad thing happened to you, but I have a line and you're not fucking crossing it. That's what you do when you love somebody and you care about them. You're brothers.
Sure. And he helped AJ beyond normal help. Like most people, when you consider they help me, they're my friend, it's they come and help me move, they did this, they did that. He let AJ stay there. He gave him the car, like you said, and that's the other thing that I noticed that was in Stu, and it was Stu hasn't done interviews. Stu's not running around trying to get publicity. That's not what's happening right now. But there was a story.
He's private.
Yeah, there was a story you told about Stu where you or someone around you had brought up he's not going to pay back for the car, and Stu just kind of shrugged his shoulders like, hey, I never really expected him to, or something like that.
Yeah,
and that's the kind of guy he was. He gave him the car, he let him stay there because the guy he's on hard times. Stu helped him out, and that's Stu.
Yeah, he's a cowboy, dude. Like straight up, shirt off his back kind of guy. He's a stand up. He's a gentleman. Like I can't say enough great things about him. You know what I mean? Like he's always been a great guy.
Yeah,
he's got a big heart. He's not perfect. None of us are, but
sure.
he's one of the nicest individuals I've ever met.
I'm guessing when you like come into like Knox Pro and start doing stuff with them, you and Stu probably connected just over like you were both in the service. That's my guess.
Oh yeah, and it's like automatic. Like I know I could trust him. I could lean into him. Like I fucking it set the table really well because I don't know what is some of the shit in wrestling. Some of these people want to have a fucking crown and a scepter, and they treat people like shit because they've been wrestling for 10 years or 8 years, but
yeah,
they still can't do the fucking basic moves. They don't get in the ring and train. They bark at everybody, yell at everybody, mistreat everybody, and like you see it, and it's like they feel this sense of validation.
Well, one of the things about wrestling is it's one of the. Oh, I was just gonna say it's one of the only industries where being a veteran mostly just means that people put up with you for that long.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but it's how it is.
Like I work full time to pay for my wrestling careers, but it's like a joke, but it's also very true. There are people that don't work, quote unquote, putting everything they can into this industry, and but they're not. Like and it's because like I could see through laziness
They will get
very
a
well.
guaranteed spot because of who they're friends with.
Yeah, but like exactly, like I see that shit all the time. Like, but like I watch people. Like I'm a people watcher, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
it's well, it's not just wrestling, and it's every job field. You see people that are just outward fucking. They're just lazy. They'll milk everything, half-ass effort everywhere. Uh, like they don't have it, and they want to tell everybody that they do have it, and they want the fucking they want their cake and they want their fucking medals and they want everyone to cheer for them and applaud them like they are making the biggest efforts in the room, but they're not like remotely doing half the shit they're supposed to do.
And they know they don't
Like
have to because the people who are doing the work, they're not going to have to acknowledge.
it's like I'm sick of seeing fucking wrestlers not work out.
Oh, it's pretty bad. It's pretty.
And like they want to do this monster character and they want to be like, oh yeah, so my character it does this, and it's like, well, your body is showing me this, you know, like
don't look very big.
yeah, and like I don't know, dude, it's just there's so much laziness, like willful neglect of self that I see, and like AJ falls into that category too, you know. Like he wants the attention, like he's doing all the right things in life, you know. It fucking fries me, and it's like, bro, you're not even helping yourself, and because you're not helping yourself, you're taking advantage of other people.
Did I mean
That's what I'm getting at. Like that sense of entitlement drives me fucking insane, and there's so much of it everywhere in the world, you know. And there's a high
Is
concentration
AJ
of
the
that
worst?
to me.
is AJ the worst example that you've bumped into?
He's up there. I mean, there's worse people than AJ.
He's the example
AJ
that probably had the worst outcome.
AJ's not all bad, and I don't want to keep speaking on his name, but he's not all bad. You know, he has some good moral character buried beneath a thick layer of stupid. That's so stupid and so overly confident in his stupidity that he does and says shit that gets people hurt. And it's mind-boggling, you know. And you try to have a conversation with the person and help them out or this or that, and then it turns into a literal fist fight or about to be because he goes and tries to curse at you or this or that because you know he knows better than you and he needs to explain. Like William, go 1 second. William Regal showed me how to do some very simple but really cool, effective strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And and somebody who is newer to wrestling asked me about like what I learned from Regal because I was talking about how cool it was to like just get that like you know be pieced up right there real quick, you know, just get some like fucking tidbits. I was geeked out, you know, like that's you're talking about being a wrestling fan now. Like now I'm like. It's not that like being taught stuff by those people. They because of my goals mean fucking everything. So I'm showing this kid, you know, the elbows, the flat, how to get the popping sound. Like I figured it out to get the noise. AJ comes over and he goes, "No, you don't want to do that. You want to fucking do it this way, and you got to throw your fucking elbow." And then he hits me in the collarbone, hard as fuck. Like when he's trying to show me, I was like, "Hey, dickhead, you hit me in my collarbone." He goes, "Well, that's safe." And I was like, "No, it's not. It's 15 pounds of pressure." Yeah, I was like, it's 15 pounds of pressure to break a collarbone, and you just hit my collarbone. Don't do it again, and I'll punch you in the face. You know? Like, because, and then I never asked him to be over there. I never asked him to interject himself into my conversation.
Right. And you were just helping somebody, showing somebody something you were excited to have.
Yeah. He, like, shows up as a fucking superhero named Captain Dumbass and just fucking ruins the moment, you know? And he does this all the time, everywhere he goes. He fucking throws himself into conversations he's not prepared for to have intelligently or emotionally. And then he fucking shits the bed and ruins everything with his bad attitude.
But all right, dude, like you were saying a moment ago, do you think this is a case of a good person buried beneath about 2 or 3 layers of ego and just all just a lot of baggage around him to where if you could strip all that away, he's a good guy, but a fool.
Yes, easily say that. You know what Dunning-Kruger is, right? The Dunning-Kruger effect?
Yes, sir.
He's Dunning-Kruger personified.
He knows just enough about wrestling to say really dumb stuff about wrestling. And,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And he knows a little bit about everything, and then wants to be the expert on everything. He's so lost as a man and as an individual, and like in a lot of ways I could relate because I know what it's like to be lost, right? But when you're lost, you don't fucking become unlost by trying to prove people that you're worthy and you know so much. You become unlost by proving nothing to everybody, by knowing that they're there and you're just existing. You're fine. And you worry about the shit that you have in front of you and that you could focus in on and master and learn, and you focus on you. And when you do that, then you're not lost anymore. Because you're not worried about what other people think. And when you're worried about what other people think, you're trying to prove shit like he does, you end up overstepping areas and looking like an absolute ass and fucking hurting people in the process because, again, the only thing that person is concerned about is himself.
That was the example where I was saying why I asked if he may be the worst because of someone getting hurt at the end of it. I mean, like you said, it may just be he's got ego problem. He might be a good guy under it all, but his foolishness ended up getting someone hurt pretty bad. So I was saying that might be the worst example of it. But I mean, it's wrestling, so I could believe there are way worse examples of somebody acting like this.
Yeah, no, it's pretty. And then with him, hold on 1 second.
Yes,
With him, he like uses like he likes to complain into the void in the world and the internet and all the other stuff and is very negative. And he does that to try to like gain favor or like get sympathy, and I don't respect that. Like he was more worried about being canceled than Stu being hurt. Because when I saw that of him telling Raj in the hallway, I put it in the group chat, in Knox Pro's group chat, and I said, what the fuck is this? Because I knew it. I fucking knew that he had something to do with it. I fucking knew it. Like as soon as that shit happened, I knew it. I was like, where's that motherfucker at? Right? But then like I went to go chase Roger down the back alley. Most people don't know that. I was incensed. So I come back and then
so
that dick
after everyone had been pulled apart, you chased him down the alley. You chased him out of the building.
Yeah, because I needed to go get the rest of that work. I was like, fuck that, like fucking bleeding and shit. Like I wanted him in jail. Like,
riled up. There ain't no.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it was so bad. So embarrassing.
I understand.
But this fucking clown is in the back worried about fucking how he looked. Like, and that's what made me like start to really dig. And like, I hadn't seen the videos yet, but I'm watching his body language, and he's more concerned about people blaming him versus if you didn't have anything to do with it, you would be more concerned about Stu's health. You'd be sad and sorry that you brought somebody that did all this. Like, he was only concerned about his own optics. And that's fucking evil.
Yeah.
That's somebody I never ever want to be around again. Like I'm doing a Bring on the Bully show on July 10th next year. And they pitched the idea like, oh, I first met AJ at one of the shows and like, we're thinking about maybe you could do a match with him. And I was like, I'll never do a match with him. I hate him. I really hate him. I will never help that guy make $1. I'll never help that guy save face. I want nothing to do with him.
A lot of wrestling fans don't understand that there are some things that are just dangerous ideas. They're like, oh, these two could make money together. They might, but I don't know if it'd be a good idea.
Now, in order for me to make money with somebody, I have to trust them. Right. In order for me to make money with somebody, I have to want to put on a show with them, right? And I'm not going to be in an entertaining mindset with somebody like that across from me, I'm going to be sitting there going, I fucking hate you. Don't touch me. And then when they touch me, I'm going to lose my shit. Like, I don't,
When guys don't trust each other, they fight each other.
yeah, well, especially somebody to me that is so stupid that they're evil. Like, I have nothing good to say about that man. And I don't believe any of his apologies. And then, even when he said stuff to me, it was all about CYA, cover your ass. Everything he said was covering his ass and not a real sincere apology. And that's my fucking problem. You know? Like,
Do you think he'll
I don't-
ever be sorry? Do you think
No.
there will come a day when he like gets what it is to be sorry? So you don't
I don't
you don't
think
think
his
the good
brain is-
person ever comes out?
I think that he has good tendencies sometimes, but I think that he is so wrapped up into his self-loathing, pity, and his own self-absorption, his little sad boy fucking tactics, that he can't see past his front nose.
Okay.
Like he can't see past that. Like, he's just stuck right there. Can't look past his fucking nose.
He can't get out of his own way to do what he should.
No, yeah, he's never going to. Like, and people like that, like I've learned, in life that like some people you can't help. Some people you could forgive, but never forget. Like, I've forgiven him, but I'll never forget, and I'll never, ever, ever, ever put myself in a situation around somebody like that, because he's proven at the highest level that he can never be trusted with anything.
No, I agree. I 100% agree with that. I would never trust him with anything. I don't know how anyone would ever book him again. I would never call to get someone blackballed personally, but I don't know how anyone in confidence could book the man, knowing what went down. It's not a thing. All right, I don't want to take up too much more, but I want to ask you maybe a nicer question. Is Stu doing a little bit better, and like is he ever going to come back to the ring? I don't know how much you two were in contact, because a lot of people, they want to be like, you two were friends, well how come you don't know everything? But again, like, you came into the wrestling event, you two kind of bonded because you were both in the service. You had a good relationship with him, but you weren't like you were besties. And then you didn't want to jump in and start bothering him at the hospital, like, pretending that you were best friends. People are weird. Like, they're really goofy about how relationships work in wrestling. But, like, you two were cool.
Yeah, like, I put myself in his shoes, and I don't like to be bothered at all. When I'm in the hospital and, like, I'm at my weakest, fuck off, leave me alone. Come back when I walk and do it better,
Right.
Like,
Understand.
yeah, like, it's just like, I don't want your fake energy around me, And, like, I feel like a lot of people, like, that's their go-to, is they need a safe face, because Stu was so popular on the internet that they needed to show up and show everybody that they knew Stu and they're Stu's real friend. And fuck you guys, I hate that shit.
I'm in the same boat. I understand what you're saying. My last thing I would ever want at the hospital is Facebook messages. That's not what I care about then.
Suck my ass. I don't want that shit. But fucking Stu, we've talked. He does want to come back. And he's got such a big heart. He goes, I'm such a baby face, I can help put people over. He's already thinking about other people.
Putting people over?
Yeah, because he's a stud. I told you, the fucking guy is a fucking saint. Like, he is unreal in terms of kindness.
Stu is too nice. That's insane. Stu should not be putting people over for a year. Okay, Stu should go there for a while.
He's the most loyal, and he's the kindest man. Like, he's forgiven pretty much everybody except Raja, right? He blamed Raja for everything, but like, I respect his decision to do whatever he wants. Even if I disagree with it, I still support it.
All right, so hold on. So you spoke to him, and he's forgiven AJ.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well, he mentioned it, but I had my 2 cents.
No, yeah,
but,
understandable. And you're allowed. You were involved, but like I wanted to know, like, since he's done it. Okay, so
there's other people besides AJ too that I would never ever want to speak to again, like ever. Like, I don't respect them as human beings.
Okay, so there's more people than AJ who probably. who did some
Yeah.
shadiness there. Okay.
I saw what they did in the face of adversity, and I saw that they were nothing but cowards. And then I saw how they treated people before all of that, just in general. And after you see them and in the hard times and how they responded, and then you go back and you retrace how they treated, like how they treated me, and like things that they would say and laugh about, like there was people there that were laughing about how much they could financially abuse me and get me to buy things for the domain
Oh wow.
because I was super kind. I even like bought my Ford F-250 to help them with ring stuff and this and that. But they would joke about like, oh, what can we manipulate him into buying for us?
Oh, that's wrestling though. You're gonna catch that at a lot of promotions. But you did, yeah. You spotted some people there that.
But what I'm saying is, they're talking to me like we're friends,
No,
and
I
like,
agree. They'll, yeah. That's
yeah.
no good.
But that's also the same person and same type of people that are, that I have a scar on my fucking head from, or like how they hit me in the fucking kidney with the shoot hockey stick as hard as they could, or in the back of the neck and the head with a hockey stick, or like pulled my fucking one of my dreads out and fucking tore a piece of my scalp.
Oh, my
Like
bad,
these
brother.
are the same people that are laughing about fucking hurting me, but can't even go in to the fucking ring to save their friend of 12 fucking years because they're the biggest bitches on the fucking planet and they have no real balls. Everything that they do is about taking advantage of people. I'll never be around those fucking people again. The laughing, the stickering, the talking shit about me, like all this fucking stuff that they fucking did. And I'm supposed to just go back willy nilly, like, oh yeah, now that Stu's better, you're all forgiven. Fuck that. Like, fuck that. I will never, ever, ever forgive the people that mistreated me there. And like I put over the people I put over because they fucking deserve it, and I'm honest. I'm blunt and I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then those other people, I don't need to sit there and slander. Like, it's not even slander. I don't need to fucking put the truth out about them because they're still there. And I love Rikishi and to me enough to shut the fuck up and give them hope.
No, you do it out of the respect. It's understandable.
Yeah, I love those people to death. And I told Stu this, and I mean it. When he's there and he goes back to Knox because he's already gone back, when he's there, I would like to show up when he's there only. And that's the only way I want to go see, like, because I want to see Rikishi. But there's other people, like I said, when I see them, I will not be able to contain myself. But I know if Stu is there, out of respect for Stu, him being a veteran and me being a veteran, I could fall in line, shut the fuck up, and eat my shit burger for one fucking day, and pay my respects. Because the other part is, I really do want to see Rikishi more than anything in the world, especially after the hospital stay. I cried as soon as I found out he went to the hospital, because I've lost so many friends and close people and people that I love, and it happens so quick. Every time, that like I'm still like, I was beside myself. I needed to know if he was okay. I tried to hit up his son, my other friend, this and that. I'm like, oh my God, like trying to figure out, like, is he going to be all right? And then I hit him up and, he said, oh, he didn't really give me a timeline when he's back. And like, I'm fucking, I'm an anxious wreck over all the shit. Like,
Oh, you've had several events rapidly go back to back. With all
yeah.
has like there was no weirdness between you and Rikishi after what happened. Like there wasn't not.
I think I think there is, not anything else other than like, he
He wishes it wouldn't have happened.
like, fuck, dude, I really wish this would have happened. Like, Rikishi was the best coach I've had in any sport ever. And he was always so blunt, brutal, and honest with me. And like, I still like, I feel like with him in my corner, I could do so much more. Like, but I'm here now.
You
I
feel like you feel like this
like
entire thing happening. It put a thing between someone who really motivated you.
and put a lot of like honesty and time, which to me is love, into like something I'm obsessed with. So like, I feel like, yeah, it is weird because like I want to be there and I know he wants me there, but like there's other things that I'm not letting go, and he probably wishes I could just let it go, but I can't.
You could get swooped up by anybody at any given moment. Like that is just how wrestling works. But if is there gonna be like a Stu return show type of thing that happens?
They were talking about doing it on the 15th with like Valor Pro Wrestling, but then like they had a venue switch up because the venue switched up. Uh, I fucking I booked with another place
Oh.
because they don't have a concrete date.
Okay, so they still don't have a date yet for it, but they ended up moving
No.
venue.
Yeah, but I know eventually I'll go back to doing it.
Okay, I was gonna if there was a Stu return show code, I wanted to make sure to mention that too because I remember you talking about that a couple of months ago.
It was supposed to be the 15th, and then it got all fucked up.
That's how wrestling goes. I hope it gets sorted because I do want to promote and talk up the Stu return show because that was.
Oh yeah, I would. That'll be something I go on a little fucking media craze. I'll try to. I'll pop that to everyone I know.
Oh man, I please do. People are gonna swoop around for all the negative. All right, and that's one reason why I didn't bother you then. Because one, I imagine you were getting messages from everybody and their mother. You probably wouldn't have seen mine anyway. But
Yeah.
it's the people who like hang around and keep interest in it that those are the ones who will get a better scope of the story because you've had time to look back on things and you've had time to see where things went from there. Like a lot of people who talk to you then, I mean, they could wish you well and everything. And I'm any video I made about it, I wished you immensely well because I was so glad to see a good brother do a good thing for once in the ring. You never see guys do good things. It's always negative. And
Yeah.
it happens and then within like a month or two, here you are. You're showing up on Raw. People are seeing you. They're shouting you out on, people know who you are now. People can spot you from a mile away because just like as you specifically tried to do, you engineered a really unique look to where when they see you, they know you. And they know it's you. You're not Aleister Black. You're not this guy. You're not this guy. You're Mr. Epic. And that was the other thing. Is it Epic Malo or just Epic?
It's just epic, man. The name is epic.
Okay, someone had someone was reporting it, and it was Epic Malo, and I said I thought it was just Epic, but okay, so
No, it's epic. People love my last name because it means back. So
it's a unique name.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't know if
Yeah.
maybe you decided to keep it because it was unique, and so you put in Epic Malo, and I was like, it's not a bad if you did it that way, but okay, so
yeah, no, the name's the epic. The whole fucking promo, but the way I fucking introduce myself is a never-ending story of ass whoopings, past, present, and more to come. But the epic is here. Ass whoopings are upon anybody. Anybody can get an ass whooping from the epic. That's what makes me me. It makes you you. I'm the one serving the ass whoopings. That's why I'm the CEO of Fuck Around and Find Out.
see, this isn't terrible. This is you've already got the real. We need
Yeah,
more
no,
of
like
these.
I got my whole promos down. I practice all the time. I'm a fucking nut. I'm neurotic as fuck. Like my finisher is FAFO.
Okay, so the outsider edge you do is the FAFO.
Yeah, so if I hit somebody with the razor's edge, it's now the FAFO. Fuck around and find out.
All right, and
Or fucked around and found out.
okay, all right. So past tense, whatever is said out, it's fucked around and found out. All right.
Yeah, because when you hit somebody with a finisher, you know what I mean. Like they found out.
Accurate. All right. Was there a name for the hopscotch famouser?
No, I haven't really thought about that
It's
one.
just fun to do.
Yeah, the chocolate starfish.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
All right. There it goes. All right. That's the name. All right.
I just call that elite fuck like drop. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
No,
Fucking,
it's fun.
I guess fucking, Matt Cardona has the easier rider. I could call it like a Death Rider or something like that. But then there's the whole Death Rider group,
Oh man.
I call it death from above.
There you go. Yeah, Death from Above. I was gonna say High Rider. There's a bunch of different riders it could be. It could be many a rider.
Yeah,
I mean Night Rider.
yeah, it'd be dope.
All right. See, I don't know. I'm glad we could talk about something like you've had a hell of a story. I'm really glad that I could talk you into letting me ask about all of this because this is unique. This is the unique path to wrestling that I expected you had. The I don't know, just not the typical ego insanity. The story of like things were hard. You talked about some really rough times to like pulling the person out of the car, then you get to what happens with Stu and everything. Like I don't. I'm sure that there was a moment where, like, right then with the Stu thing, it felt like the gas pedal on life just fucking hit the floor, and you're just
Yeah.
going.
Well,
So
with the Stu thing, my main concern was is raising money for his GoFundMe.
I noticed that 100%. You were another good
Every
brother
interview
moment.
I did, what interview I did, I made them donate to his GoFundMe.
Mm-hmm.
So that was asked for me to do an interview with anybody. That's why I did so many of them.
Well,
Because every time I did an interview, I got more money for the GoFundMe.
I had talked to someone who you had done an interview with, and I was like, "Oh, so what's he like? Is he a cool guy or whatever?" And it was like, "Yeah, he's cool." It's like, "Did you have to pay him or anything?" He said, "Yeah, but it wasn't like I paid him." And I was like, "What do you mean you paid him but you didn't pay him?" And he was like, "Well, he said I had to donate to Stu's GoFundMe for him to do it." And I said, "Oh, dude, that's gold." Because like I had seen you go to plenty of channels, and I'm like, "Oh, this dude, this is great stuff. That's fine."
But that's
Like,
just like I'm not here for me, dude. Like I don't give a fuck about like I got everything I want. My girlfriend, I have a fucking great dog. I got my mom's gonna be like, I'm not rich, but like I'm happy. So what am I gonna do with that shit?
right. Yeah. You again. It was just another thing where you were helping out Stu. It was great. It was good to see
But
and great to
yeah,
hear.
because that's on the internet forever. And like I always I think about like his headspace, like how he's gonna handle that. Like you just want your friend to like make it out okay. Like I just wanted him to when he looks back at this, instead of feeling embarrassment, he just wipes his face with 20s.
Right. And I
Yeah.
I hate that they're pretty much everybody is going to not be covering the end of this story. Like most people have gotten what they're going to get out of the story. They wanted to show the shocking thing happen. I
Yeah.
I have been like waiting for like the Stu comeback thing to happen. I'm looking forward to it a great deal because to me it's a great story because people forget that first like 8 or 9 hours and maybe even like into the next day like it was not looking great. Like people were freaking out.
No.
It was
Yeah.
not good. And
No, I was fucked up, dude.
yeah, he was how long was he unconscious?
I think for a day they induced him at the hospital.
Like that's it. It was serious, and like I know that everybody's like, "Oh, I've seen people make comments like, oh, look at him, he's smiling at the camera now. How bad could it have been?" Whereas, and it's like, it was bad. Like, what
Yeah,
do you
people
what
are
do you mean? It
stupid,
was
bro.
really bad. People have been
Yeah.
ridiculous over this kind of stuff.
Some of the comments I've seen are so ignorant, so dumb, and so hateful.
Oh, it's rough.
And like that's another reason too. I was so big on the GoFundMe. I saw the negativity out there, and like, I just wanted to make sure that he could get there. And then his wife Contessa is an absolute warrior. Like, so she's like a respiratory therapist, and she sees people all the time at the end of the days, and has to be strong for them. And Stu's her rock, and then she's got to go home, and like, be strong for him when normally he's strong for her, and like that also broke my heart, like badly.
And she's got all this thrown onto her out of nowhere. Like being your normal
Yeah.
wrestler wife does not come with any of this.
No.
Like this is not. There's no way she could have been ready for the call of, or was she? Was she at the event?
No. I don't think
Okay,
she
so
was with you.
she had to be called. So
Yeah.
that's nightmarish. It's
I think
nightmarish.
Stu's mom was at the event.
I did hear that. I did hear that. That's terrible. But
I thought her dad went there first. That's what I heard. But like, when I did that first interview, I wasn't coping well. I was just drinking at the beach all day, pissed off.
I remember you did seem fired up. And rightfully,
Dude,
you were rightfully fired up. I think you still had. Did you have stitches? I know that you were still patched
yeah.
up.
I still had stitches.
Okay, it's rightfully pissed. So, totally understandable.
Yeah, because my mom was there. My friend had her son there, and all the kids and the other shit. Like, like
Okay,
my
so
little
you had
brother.
family there too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, like I mean, fuck. They've been around me long enough. They've seen me. They've seen me have some Donnybrook's. Uh, like people are trying to ask my mom if she was nervous or scared, and she's like, "With him, hell no." Like like that. That's his wheelhouse. Like that's something he's very capable in.
Yeah, they know.
So
They know
yeah,
you. They,
they know not to get involved. They know not to like hype anything up or because then it gets worse. You
yeah.
know. Like when it comes to like family and like it's my girlfriend or my mom or anything like that, then it's like then everything has to elevate.
Understandable. Understandable.
Yeah, but it's just so ugly. Like for all of it, like
And
I that's
it's
the
not
thing I
what you're
can't get out
about.
of my head.
It's not what
No,
you're about. It's where you're in this thing. You're in this kind of spiritual awakening mode, and it is a shame that this is what you became known for. That was another thing I mentioned to you as soon as I started talking with you. Was I have a feeling that it's a shame to you that this is what you got known for. And
yeah, it's unfortunate. People are like, oh, you're the guy. I'm like, unfortunately, like,
yeah,
honestly, like I
preferably
want to.
this would have never happened.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's I would love to take away all the ugliness that happened, and because I like to earn everything, and like, to me, it doesn't feel earned. I don't like the ugly memories. I don't like the fact that like you think about like how how's this affecting everybody that was involved. Like it's just not the best.
No, I believe. All right. Then this is last question. I didn't know if I was going to ask it, but since we more or less landed here,
Yeah.
would trade it all back and go back to that position that night? None of it ever happened. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but there are people who are going to say what they're going to say, but I think I know the answer. Would you go back to
Yeah.
your position that night if none of this would ever happen?
I mean, I you know I was gonna fucking make it eventually with hard work, so it sounded like I needed this.
I believe you. Like I 100% believe you. I think
But
you have charisma and a look. I think you were confident enough in yourself to do it. And I've seen people say goofy shit like that, and they would say, "Why didn't you ask him that? If you, why don't you just ask?" Well, yeah, I asked him. There, he's been asked.
Yeah. Well, because like who the fuck wants this? Like, I don't ever want to just have attention tied to like, yeah, cool. Like, I did something noteworthy, but like I've done this in the past. Like, it's always something I've done, and like it never followed me like this. I never wanted it to. You know, like it's just something that everybody should do.
It was the
You know
right
what I mean?
thing, and it's done in a world where people quit doing the right thing, so it puts them in shock and awe.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is like I always like to say like Stu would do this for me in a heartbeat or anybody. Stu would do it for anybody. Like like that. But I wish this never happened because like who the fuck? I don't want my buddy to have this memory on in his head, and I don't want him to have like when he was even saying like oh I know the beer can thing. Like yeah, because if you would have hit me with a beer can, bro, like I'd swing on you immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would have to hash that out. Like I'm fucking you up. You hit me with a beer can, right? But
Mm-hmm.
whatever happened after that, all the apologies, all the other shit, like that, none of that was deserved, and like in no way, shape, or form was the beer can the catalyst for all the other stuff because that stuff was all caused by somebody not accepting an apology, having an ego bigger than anything in the world. Like there's so much that goes into that. Like I know he's gonna beat himself up over that, and he shouldn't.
Right. All right. Random
No.
question: was the beer can a prop, or was it full? Someone told me it was empty. It was
Empty.
yeah. It was a can that was just ready to be crushed.
Yeah, like I didn't even see it. I had my back turned, but you know, it looked like he had hit his hand too, because there was no marks on Raja.
I watched it. There's no way you hit someone with a beer can like that's full and it pops at the top like that and they don't move. That's an empty can.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask since you had mentioned the can thing, but please go ahead. These are just dumb questions I've seen people ask, and they're like, "Why didn't anybody ask them?" Well, there,
Yeah, there
the
was no
can's
marks on
empty,
his head.
obviously.
If you would have hit somebody with an empty beer can like that without crushing it, like, and you would have hit somebody in the head, you would cut them open.
It's like a brick. You can't just hit somebody with a full can. Take them out.
Or in an empty can. Even an empty can will still hurt. Like, you know, like
It's true. You gotta be careful.
he like crushed it while it was coming in and then like hit his hand. And like, so like he crushed it in the middle with his hand and then hit his other hand and then, you know, like a double crush.
That's the other problem with Raja being backstage is backstage, that sacred ground for the boys. Guys walk around and put each other in a headlock. They'll come up behind you and give you a chop that the boys are goofing off being the boys in the back. So if you have someone sitting in the back and the boys walk around doing the boys stuff, you can't start fights about that. I mean, if they
Yeah, no.
especially if you then, okay, fine, we understand, we apologize, everything's cool, and then 3 hours later decide to go absolutely ham on the person and attack them. These are unreasonable things. I've heard all of these excuses. These are all unreasonable.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no justification for that. And saying you've always wanted to hurt a wrestler, you're gonna hit this guy for real as many times as you can. Like, what an evil piece of shit.
I'm in 100% agreement. It is the most ridiculous stances I've seen a lot of people say a lot of things trying to work around why it's nonsense.
Like I feel like Roger, you know, needs mental health treatment, and I feel bad for him because he was in bad hands. He was with people that didn't give a fuck about him, and he didn't give a fuck about anyone else, clearly. But like he was with people that, quote unquote, supposed to be his friends and look out for him, and they failed him. And then he's known for failing himself already because he's been known to get arrested. He's punched his dad, stolen a car, and he's done some crazy shit. He's known for shooting on his fucking MMA sparring partners. So if you have somebody that volatile that's already known for doing reckless shit, and then he's with you, you got to make sure that he doesn't do reckless shit. Or, you know, at the very least, you brought him to a place where you're supposed to have fraternity with all these other people, and he brought somebody who does reckless shit, and you didn't fucking make sure to look out for the safety of everybody. You brought this fucking reckless person around.
You got to be looking out better.
Yeah, like AJ failed him. The cameraman failed him. Everybody around him failed him.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So like in a way, I do feel fucking terrible for him because like I know what it's like to suffer like being a little unstable in moments, but like I've never done something that bad. You know, I've always been able to like get a grip on myself. But and also I would never just attack somebody when they give me their body freely for like, no, we either fight like men straight up and shake hands after, or, you know, like I'm just not gonna fuck with the situation.
No, understandable. I did find that to be particularly diabolical. The idea of like he gave him the slam, and like if you know how it works, like Stu goes up for him. That's why he got him up so high. Like Stu goes up for him, like okay, we're slammed, but then he really slams him, and then he really tears into him. So like Stu was like, all right, we're good, and he's going, and Stu just gave himself to Raja to do this. Only like that is. Like I don't know. If you know wrestling, you know why there's something diabolical there. It's gross. There's a special grossness to watching that sequence. I hate that sequence.
Yeah, and even the fucking song he picked, like everything about everything was screaming that this person had bad intentions.
I can believe it.
The promotion to like everybody who fucking allowed that to happen. You know, even like we're not supposed to have cursing in our fucking songs and all the other stuff. And he picks that song and it's just loaded with fucking N-bombs and this and that. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Just
Like
out of his way
everything
stuff against the rule.
catering to somebody with no fucking following, no fucking reason to be there, not helping the show.
No
Like
decorum.
just fucking god awful. Everything around it is just so mind boggling. Like it's just so stupid. It shows so much ineptitude. Like, oh,
It's not great. It isn't. But I'm
and like,
glad that Stu's on the other end of it now. Go
yeah,
go
and
ahead.
I've
What were you
talked to
saying?
some pros. Like I've talked to some ex WWE guys that are not from Knox, but like have worked adjacently and stuff like that, and they've given me their opinions. And like, man, knowing what I know now, oh
Uh,
man,
are you getting any heat from within the industry, like about it? Like are you just no nobody's mad at you about this, are they? Or is this something
if they
where
are, they're not going to say anything. I mean,
okay.
that would be that would lose the court of public opinion.
Okay,
Um,
it's at that point now because I remember there were people trying to make weird cases in the beginning. But like one person had mentioned to me, like RVD was like, "I'm with Roger Jackson," but I think you went on and spoke with RVD not long ago.
yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah,
Fucking
he was just talking. He just said that in the
RVD
Twitter post, and if you go to the actual podcast when he's talking, he's
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, I just
No,
fucking
you're
that's the
right.
thing.
Yeah.
It was clickbait. But like also he made a very solid point. Like, you know, like RVD wanted other people held accountable that weren't being held accountable. And then RVD saw the situation as not good and bad, or you know what, one good side, one bad side. It was this side's human and this side's human, and a bad thing happened, and there's blame all over the place, and you know it just a whole fucking event where people shit the bed.
RVD is a very different kind of thinker to most people you're going to find in the wrestling business, especially someone who's been in it for like as long as he has. He thinks way different from most of the guys in the business.
He's
So
pretty grounded, yeah, very grounded. You know, I
yeah,
think he's very, yeah. I texted him after the podcast and I told him, you know, thank you for being somebody that speaks the truth and doesn't just speak for profit. You know, because like that to me is that means everything. You know,
no.
like I would rather like even if I disagree with him, right? I would rather have a conversation with him, even if I disagreed, and I would still love and respect him and what he's saying, because then the other part of my brain is going to go, okay, maybe 5 years later, I'm going to look back and be like, fuck, he was right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you could table things. And not everything has to be this fucking, you know, automatic fucking wall. Everyone makes everything a dichotomy, and it drives me insane. And I love the fact that RVD is more focused on breaking down the situation versus taking a side.
Yeah,
You know?
that is a great trait. Not
Yeah,
instantly putting on a jersey or picking a team when something
yeah,
happens and just figuring it out for yourself. Just figuring it
yeah.
out and looking for yourself at things will always be the best way.
Like a lot of people, like they want to just sit there and be like, "Oh, it's a prop beer can. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that." Like, bro, you hit me with a fucking beer can, I'll fucking fight you straight up. He has the same opinion, right? He's also an ex martial artist, like so am I. So like, we have our opinions, but it doesn't mean that like I think that Stu deserved it. It doesn't mean that I think Stu's a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean, it just means that I think that, you know, the situation should have been solved right then and there.
Right. There are a million things at work when going into it because of how that took place and then what happens later. Because, like you
Yeah.
said, it should have all been done then. There's an
Yeah.
issue then,
All the stuff
handle
that
it then.
Yeah, all this stuff that happened later. Even my friend, she's a reporter in New Mexico, right? Very popular reporter named Sasha Leninger. Um, so we were talking, and then she didn't know about the incident. And this is because I was doing the show in New Mexico. And I gave her the LA Times report, and then she just dove deep into the shit, doing Miss Reporter. And, she goes, that guy in a cowboy hat really fucked this whole thing up and really set the table, not knowing shit about anything.
She just watched the live streams by herself.
Yep. And that was her takeaway. And then she asked me questions around everything else.
And I do remember AJ was trying to put it around that you were telling everybody, to think that way. Like you were the one directing everyone to believe that he had something to do with it. That you just go look at this. You can't make him say things. That was a weird angle he tried to take. I'm glad that more people saw through that. That's easy to see through, but
Yeah, well, it's because, like I said, Dunning-Kruger, he thinks that everyone is so stupid that they'll just believe him. Like, he's so confident that people would just take his word and not look at the internet and have an opinion.
It's brutal when you have it on video the way that it is, and him saying what he says, and then 1 week, like, he goes from that to he did an interview with someone, and he's screaming. He's so mad, and kayfabe is dead. Shut up. The next, 2 weeks later, does one with Conrad, and he's very calm. I still believe in kayfabe, guys. And it was he has been a different person every time he's appeared on camera. Every single time.
Bro, even with how he does his wrestling characters and oh, I could say the N-word because I'm part black. Oh, I could say this about Native Americans because I have Native American in me. I could say this about this because I'm Samoan. I could say this about it's always this constant need for validation or an excuse for him to do something because of this validation. Like I said, it's somebody who's trying to prove something to the world all the time. But it's because they're insecure. It drives me insane.
Wow.
I can't get over that. That's this whole
I understand it. He's a piece of work. He's definitely a piece of work. And
we clipped and then even so even stuff like this. So when people are talking and they're trying to manipulate and they're not an honest person. Honest people are typically always going to go towards manipulation, right? So what did he do with the CT podcast? I'm from Compton, so now you're pandering, right? So you're gonna go pander, pander, pander. I don't believe in this. Basically, now I'm gonna insult and attack my audience. Kayfabe is dead, right? And then he goes back to fucking manipulation and pandering when he says, "My dad left me when I was 12." So, but he's giving he's trying to throw so much stuff out there because he's trying to pander and find anything that'll get people to feel sympathy for him because that's all he's used to doing. And he's in a situation now where he can't worm his way out of this. He can't crybaby his way out of this.
So do you think we will ever see him again? Does he advance in the world?
I don't fucking
I don't see it.
I hope not. But I hope he changes his ways and fucking gets it together. The other part of that too is he thinks that he can go to church one time and be absolved. Oh. And it's motherfucker, you haven't even taken accountability.
He goes to the ranch one time, becomes a cowboy. He goes to church one time, he becomes a pastor. He's one of those. Okay.
Yes, no, he is. He's exactly that.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. that's rough.
I had to be subjected to the most cringiest fucking videos of him trying to fucking discover himself as a cowboy. Hard day at the ranch. Man's got to eat. And it's ground beef, cooking steak. But fucking Jesus Christ, bro. Just fucking do you. You don't need to prove anything to everybody. You're good enough as you are. You're good enough. If he just learned that he was already perfect, he was already cool just being himself, and he had nothing to prove to anybody, he would be so likable. He'd be a much better person, but he refuses to fucking do that, and it drives me fucking insane. That's why I hate him.
Could have avoided all of
because
this with just that.
yeah, it's like everyone thinks it's like something greater than that. I'm like, no, it's just you're watching people miss the mark on being a fucking decent human being and actually loving themselves and putting love into themselves, and they're refusing to love themselves. And because of that, they bring nothing but fucking turds to the world. So that's what drives me insane about it. It just, yeah,
That's an understandable gripe to have. People making things harder on themselves for no reason. Just yeah,
yeah.
it's
This
frustrating to
fucking
watch.
guy. Yeah, this fucking guy too. Even knowing my girlfriend, and like even the day he met me, I'm hanging out with my girlfriend and her cousin Brian, right?
Hmm.
So he even went as far to try to say that I was like some white supremacist or racist
Oh
to
god,
people at the wrestling school, and it's like, bro, my girlfriend's black.
that's gonna be a tough sell. That
You're you're really like my fucking my on my mom's side, they came from Warsaw, Poland. Like you're really fucking this up. My nephew's Chinese. Like my family's very mixed and integrated. You know, like my because
trying to covet you as a racist when you walk in with your black girlfriend is going to be a hard sell.
yeah.
I'm just saying he could try it, but it's gonna be a tough sell.
Fucking, and some people are like, oh, she's not American black because she's Dominican. I'm
She's
like,
not
okay,
American black.
when you're black in when you're black in America, you're black, okay? Because like we this is how we digest things in this country.
That's amazing. She's not American black. I don't know what to do with that. What do you do with
Yeah, bro, the world
that?
is so stupid. I fucking hate it. I hate the world. But like, yeah, I'm this grad. Like it, even so like my old basketball teammates, like my buddy Aubrey and my buddy like Big Dave, like fucking going through this whole thing, laughing at all of the comments of these people saying stuff, and then like, yeah, it's just like I. But AJ's one of those people. He like aids these terrible narratives that can really hurt people, and it's all for his own selfishness and self preservation.
He feels that saying this will keep his head above water in the
Yeah,
situation.
or like by somehow making everyone believe that I'm a bad person, like
Yeah.
I'll never get pushed on the card, or like because like for him, it's like he thinks that like if he's top notch on the card, that's what's gonna get the scouts to pick him up. Like
Yeah.
that's the other thing too. Like when I'm looking at like the WWE talent and how talented these people are, what I'm realizing it is the ultimate fucking team sport, and I'm starting to have a ponderance in my head, or I'm starting to like start to see something where like I truly believe that what the WWE wants from talent is people that are agreeable, workable, stubborn enough to always get better, know that they're always going to have to get better, and willing to do the fucking work. Like they don't give a fuck if you're the coolest guy on the fucking planet who can do all the moves, because at the end of the day, if they need you to put a mask on and be Grande Americano
All
and you're
them moves
fucking
are
German,
gone.
you fucking do it.
Yeah, all your moves you were doing, those are gone now. You need new moves. So,
Yeah, because your job is to fucking entertain. Your job
right.
is to work within the structure of a team to put on a great show. And if the team does well, you'll do well. And it's literally fucking the Three Musketeers. All for one for all kind of shit. Like I'm watching and I'm seeing it. I'm like, but these people out here that that think that somehow putting down their fellow man lifts them up and gives them some type of greater look to a company, right? Where it's nothing but competitive, strong-minded, hardworking people. Like nobody wants that.
Right.
Like,
You don't become a better
oh,
wrestler or learn anything new or become better at anything because you convince someone that someone else isn't.
yeah, like bro, like what are you talking? Like, you're gonna do is just fucking showcase fucking how much of an unworkable person you are. Like, so if that's how you are to get over, so what? Now you're gonna go to a company that's firing on all cylinders, where people are learning to work as a team. They may not all get along, but they all respect each other enough to put this work together. And you're telling me that somehow you think that you're going to add value by showing up and just being a cancerous person? Like that's a mind fuck to me that people think that way. Why would a company ever want somebody that doesn't want to absolutely give every piece of their soul to the greater good? That's what makes the company thrive. You could find your niche. You could find ways to get over. You could do all these things, these little tiny nuances to fucking build your brand and your business. But at the end of the day, you have to be giving all of yourself to something bigger than yourself when you're working for these companies. I see it now.
People have to remember that when you're talking about companies like this too, they have their pick of the world. It's not their pick of this small area. It's not this pick of, this country. Like, the WWE has their pick of the world of who they could bring in.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And one person I want to put over too, because he doesn't need it because he's already, way over. I want to say, talking about going back to being a fan, I forgot to talk about Rusev. I watched him in Penta and then Dom's match, right? But I love the match that he put on with Penta. Did you see that match?
I don't know if I've seen the one you're talking about. I think they've wrestled a few times.
Okay, so yeah, no, they have, but so Rusev obviously heel. He comes out, fucking with his music, and he does his entrance, and the crowd, they're just not buying him right when he walked out, and I'm like, that's fucked. I love this guy. They should love him, Rusev being a fucking stud and a pro. You watch what he's doing, and then there's a moment where he's giving Penta heat. And he fucking flirts a little bit with the crowd. I see the smile, the sparkle in his eye, and they're booing him. And then he's like, yeah. And then he goats them a little bit. Now they're booing a little louder. Then he's more heat, this, that, and the other. Now they're really booing, and he pours it on harder. Bah! And then, I'm watching him. By the end of the match, he's got them fucking literally screaming at him. Mm-hmm. I saw this live action, what he did. How he was not intimidated by the no energy in the beginning. He knew he was gonna have them. I don't know, dude. I watched that. I wanted to talk about that earlier when we were talking about wrestling and being a fan and watching this stuff.
It's understandable. You saw it. You saw the magic thing happen. You saw somebody who knows what to do. You saw the mastery.
I watched him fucking spoon feed the crowd first with his eyes, and then afterwards he fucking took out the fucking spatula and shoved it down their throats and said, "Eat that shit, bitch."
Yeah, you always hear people talk about, getting people to feel that way. We had the crowd in the palm of their hands. But, when you hear people talk about it, it's one thing. But you saw it. You physically, with your own eyes, you saw the thing happen that everyone talks about.
Yeah, and I saw how he placed everything and, what he was doing. Even, when Penta was going up on the rope, he was laying in the corner, how he reached up. Little fight backs. The craziest stuff, you know what I mean? And Miro is a tough motherfucker, and he's putting in this work and puts people over, but he's not a weak guy. He's not a punk. He was a bouncer and stuff. You could tell he's trained. He could probably amateur wrestle. I don't know if he has, but the dude's a stud. I've seen him move, and his mindset. He's a unit. I watched him run the ropes one time. They were doing 2 minutes at a time. He did 5 people back to back to back just to prove that he's a pro and everyone else needs to step up.
He is an unsung guy on the roster who I really think, everywhere he goes, I think he hasn't got to the world title quite yet. But to me, he looks like the perfect guy to be your top bad guy. He's an absolute
he's
beast.
Crushing it. Did his last promo too? I love when people shout out where they're from. It gets me excited. If I get to ever fucking speak about Pomona on a fucking promo to the world, that my heart's there. If I'm in another country, my buddy Brandon Allen is a powerlifter. He was in Australia doing Big Dogs 3, and he squatted 1,050, and they had this monolift. And the monolith are these hooks that come out. But in America, we walk our squats out, right? Mm-hmm. So Brandon, being Brandon, picks up 1,050 pounds, walks it out of the monolift when everyone else was just staying in position and squatting from there, and then dunks this squat and smokes it, right? 1,050 pounds on his fucking back. I don't know. Fucking the reporter comes up to me and goes, "Brandon, why did you do that? Everyone else is using the monolith. You probably wasted so much energy." And he goes, "Well, guess what? In America, we fucking walk out our squats." And he does finger guns at the camera. I'm like, yeah. Because that's my boy. He's in America representing us. When Rusev called out, to Bulgaria and his in his language, like I got pumped, I got fired up. You know, like I'm watching this promo, all this shit. Like I'm starting to learn like little things, like fucking the intensity, the emotion, like where everything's coming from now. Like I see his motivations a little more.
See
You know,
that?
Dragunov, yeah, Dragunov's a tough guy. He's an intense man. I've seen how he walks into the arena. He's intense. You know, um, I see where his energy comes from right away. But like now, like yeah,
When you watch him, not just everybody could do that finish. The finish he does, where you jump up and just throw the forearm at their jaw. Now, I mean, skill wise, sure, but not everybody is intense enough of a guy to be like, my finish is I just jump down and hit you with the big Superman elbow. Like I put you down. And that's enough to where the crowd and everybody, they believe that's a finish because that's how intense you are.
yeah, yeah. It's fucking crazy to me. Like I just, you know, I love watching this shit so much now, and learning all these things. And like now, like you know, when I'm sitting in my truck, I'm thinking like, okay, I feel this way in my soul, and then some days I feel like this, and some days I don't have this, but I could do this. Like trying to figure out where I could place all the energy I have inside of me into the ring.
No, that's productive. And that's the other thing. Like you found this place to channel everything, and I think it's going to work out extraordinary for you. I think you're going to do very well in the pro wrestling industry. I don't know if it feels quite like home yet, but it should. Even with the not so great people that are in it, we need more like you in wrestling. We need more of this versus the narcissistic, absolute worst of people to get into wrestling. You are a very nice change compared to what we tend to get. So I don't. I was gonna say I've really enjoyed all this.
No problem, bro. I like, you know, I don't know. I like sharing my story and my thoughts from the heart. You know, I don't like to. Everything's in my sleeve. I don't conceal much life. You know, I want to put as much as I can out there.
You're
Well,
good. There's no
I figure,
apology needed. You're great.
well, you know, the mindset too for me is like if I show everybody how much I fucked up, you know, then when they're looking at anything I've done that's successful, that they could see that like although I did all these things wrong or I feel this way or that way, if they relate to some of it, you know, then they know that like they too can like do, you know, another course of action or like look at my failures. I want them to see stuff I failed and never repeat what I did. So I just put everything out there.
There's
So
another
like,
chance if you'll take it.
yeah, you know, I want to help family, God, and community. That's all I want to do is just help, you know?
I think that's a great message. I think there's not a lot of people who would have felt the way that you felt afterward. Like I understand you said that you chased him out of the building that night, but afterward, like you wanted to squash things with his father. You've tried to be nothing but positive after. If people go and check out any of your socials, it's nothing but positivity. You're making jokes, you're having a laugh, you're catching child predators. It's all good things. And there's not enough of just all good things out there. So to see not only the way that people have kind of been receptive to you, but how WWE, you know, they bring you in for the extra work, and you know people are spotting you on TV. Like they're gonna notice that. Everyone's gonna notice that you put this guy on TV. People spot him. This guy doesn't look like anybody else. He doesn't work like anybody else. He doesn't have the philosophy of anyone else, and he's coming from a completely different place from everyone else. This is a unique thing. So I don't see any hurdles that you're really going to have on the rest of the way up. I'm with you on hating that this is the way that it kind of ended up happening, but I think now
Well, if it
that
gets my
everyone
story
knows,
up, I guess it's a good thing, you know?
yeah, that's the thing. I hate it, but the way that in the end, this is being turned into a good thing. It is a blessing that came with its issues. More people know about Stu now, and I'm gonna talk about it when he comes back. I know some people are gonna have moved on from the story or whatever, but I'm gonna talk about it when Stu comes back. I hope other people do too. You've been, I don't know, you've been on Raw a couple weeks now, right?
Quite a few times. I've done a lot of extra work, and the fact that they even used me was surprising because like my hair was done because I had to go do a show, and like typically I'll have
You would expect them to want you to not be so visible.
yeah they when they put me out there for the security thing, even Jimmy Uso was like, they gonna put you out there like that? All right, and he laughed, and I laughed too. Like I was like, all right, whatever, dude. Like dude. By the way, speaking of great energy. The Usos, Solo, and all them. Like Solo's a bad guy. He's a terrible bad guy. He's a super heel.
Asshole, complete asshole.
Yeah,
Got
yeah. It was all the worst. But fucking great energy, dude. All of them, energy people. Like they always say don't meet your heroes. I feel like those people are worth meeting. Yeah, like
Okay.
fucking
Okay.
Rusev too.
The
Rusev too. Great energy. Yeah.
I was gonna say, were the Usos cool with you? Were they aware, that you were cool with Rikishi and everything from before, and it was an easy one?
I didn't ask. Nobody brought it up.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and like I wouldn't want to like some people have asked from like the office, and I just they asked like, was that real? Like the punches, this and that, and like just curiosities here and there, and I've talked to a few people, but mainly I just I'm there for something else, and I don't want
ask,
to.
don't tell.
Yeah, and like these people are there to work too, and
Yes,
like
sir.
I don't ever want to take. You don't ever take away from company function, uh, for any. I don't know. I get that'd be selfish and wrong.
No, I get it.
And then, yeah, one of the coolest things that happened to me though, beyond even just being on the TV, the coolest thing ever was meeting one of the Make a Wish kids. I was there with my team partner Alex Ace,
Okay.
and we're sitting gorilla, just listening, observing, watching the matches on the monitor. And one of the kids is back there. There's a brother, a sister, and another kid. And the family was back there. And then my buddy Alex looks at the kid and he goes, "You guys ready for the tag match?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, "Our tag partner's right here. Let's go." And then the kids are like, "Oh, you're gonna lose." And like they start laughing, and I was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna beat us up." I was like, "I'm scared of you guys." So they walked in there, and I didn't know it. And they were with the Make a Wish, and then the dad gave me one of these bracelets for him. It's hashtag Crew Strong, KREW Strong.
Okay.
So if you could put hashtag Crew Strong on the video,
Okay.
yeah, please, because I think about that, and like fucking me and Alex, both of us started weeping when we found out we turned. And we're like, fuck, like it hit us like immediate, um,
No, I understand.
and I had to rationalize it, because he was, he had a moment where we had a talk, and I was just telling him like, with my views on the world, it's like some things in life burn so bright to teach lessons because there's so many people not doing their part. Like I felt like the guy who was like my father figure when he died. Like it taught me so much. He was such a hero to me. Like fucking Fu Manchu, like Hulk Hogan, finger point all, everything. Like, but his lessons like helped get me through a lot, and like they burned brighter in my head than they ever would have. And it's like, you wish he would still be here, but like even in his passing, like he showed me to like die without being afraid. Like he's just taught me so much. So like I feel like with those things, it's like these people they burn so bright even at a young age to make it through. But it's like he's gonna make everything around him greater throughout life. Like I don't know, that was my take on it. Like I know this kid's gonna make it. Yeah, I don't know. I just like it fucked me up. It fucked me up bad. But like at the same time,
that's the hard thing
like,
about those. Like it's a big thing.
yeah, but that kid, like, and I got a buddy right now, Darren Bitteroff. who's going in tomorrow for 5 days for chemo. You know, and I told him about the kid from Make a Wish, and I said, "You fucking, you need to be strong for him, and fucking make sure you fucking make it through, because like all the people that are suffering and going through it right now, like can't let up. You know, if anyone's watching this and you're struggling with cancer, whatever sickness you got going on, like the best thing you could do for yourself and everyone around you is to fucking find a way to be positive and have a good attitude and fucking just attack whatever's bothering you, including sadness. You got to attack it. You got to find a way to be happy and push. And
I had
fucking,
I've seen people who were kind of in that situation, and a lot, you don't have to stop living until you stop living.
yeah, I you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't know what I would do, but like I know how my personality is, and typically when bad things happen, I get funnier. So I just laugh myself to death.
Your reaction to it is to have a laugh, and that's not the
So,
worst
yeah,
reaction.
self-deprecation.
No, not the worst reaction. So, all right, I'll give it this. What if you just anything you want to say that will just to anything to wrap up anything to say anything. What what would you throw out there?
Yeah, if I put anything out there, just effort determines everything. And no matter what happens to you, big, small, good, bad, the only way out of anything is to make an effort and build momentum